Welcome to the casting desk. It's me and Hap. We can't quite decide the name, but I think Hapachu's the one to go for,
Hapachu
right?
does indeed have a nice catch to it.
You sound really quiet to me. I need to
Do
turn
I
you
sound
louder.
quiet? I can talk louder in that case.
Well, in my mind, you know what? I'm okay with you being quiet because it means I can sound even louder.
Oh well. Anyway, ban phase.
Yes.
We are starting things off right here. Cyclops with the first one, as they will be starting out on the defense. And let's see what choice they will go with.
Absolutely. The one thing I'm really excited about for Cyclops is although the record, it doesn't put them in the best light, right? But these guys, in every single loss they've had, 7-5, 8-6, something to that effect. It has always been close. And yes, they lost to Guts on this exact map 8-6 previously. So if you're a safe player, a safe better, dare we say, you'll be looking at this one and saying, you know what, Guts are the ones to take it again. But you just can't write Cyclops off, given they were the former Japanese Pro League champions. Nomad the first ban away. Monty, no big surprise, a 38% ban rate coming into this competition across APAC. Teams just don't seem too comfortable dealing with the Monty hat.
Definitely not, and you know, it's often the teams that played him himself as well. They get it removed. I've no clue what they're saying or what they're talking about, but it's most likely something about the Monty Ben.
It's something in Japanese and I can't read it. One day, maybe.
One day.
Valkyrie has been the most banned defender in the region as well.
Yes.
No surprise. I think because a lot of teams like to play aggressive, and it's why we're seeing quite a high attacker win rate across the region.
The impact in the last two maps, the Oregon and Cafe, was left open. So a lot of, well...
It's a unique one in that case, and the mute ban. I love these little niche bans that get pulled out here. It's always based on target banning. It means there is more information opening up here for the attackers. Aren't going to find yourself starved for information, so those roamers probably going to have a bit of a rougher time, unless you're seeing locking themselves away quite safely with something like the Mozzie.
All right.
All right.
All right.
That's the magic word, isn't it?
The magic word. Whenever we're, you know, you're done with segment 1, and then we go over to segment 2, which is the actual round. You say, all right, it's a bit of a tip. Aviator Games, Des. Aviator Games to start things off now.
It's always the starting place.
The Clash being brought, and I see a Jaeger. Now, I always hope that we see the Clash being played in 90 on that one particular angle where it cannot be shot from the 90 window. Yeah,
it's more there to try and help you extend the hold a little bit further, right? You're not really playing behind a typical shield, although they do have 2 of those on side. It's the fact that it's mobile, it's the fact that it's free information, it makes perfect sense. I do expect to see Anderson either looking to hold 90 and just say, you will not get control of this corner, you will not be allowed, otherwise you'll find him playing near the top side of landing. Some players even opt to play him inside of Aviator Door and looking towards Study, just so they can't push him. But either way, it's all about the time-wasting affair here, and Guts need to be the ones that are mindful of the fact that Cyclops here are trying to say, we want you to rush in the dying seconds of a round, we want you to make mistakes, and that's where we'll find ourselves a few rounds in this defensive half. Hey, it's Simon.
It's Simon. It's our old friend.
Our old buddy, our old pal. He's in LATAM these days.
Doing a LATAM with Ace and Jackie.
He is.
Which other British caster will be jumping up every now and then?
We'll see him one day, I'm sure.
We will. One day. I will speak Zuid-Afrikaans with you, my friend. Anyway, we do have the setup done. We see a little bit of an opening right there towards the vault door in the Aviator Games room. I think I was just checking. That's not a mirror window, right? No, that's not. They just opened that on purpose, and that will be to actively contest onto. It's an interesting gridlock, actually.
It's the fear it creates, right, in that mind. And it is interesting. I don't know if they're trying to expect some run out here to when you're playing on this balcony, as you can see. But it's just a case of saying no one is going to be running out here and trying to give us any grief on the balcony. That much is for certain. A big focus up towards the north side, as you would probably expect initially. It's Light who's looking to hold this one down by the looks of it, make sure no one is hanging around. But for Guts, there is no fear. Cyclops, one-eyed, one sight is all they have in mind in this case. No one holding up towards the north. This is where pace is going to weigh into things. How fast can Guts get themselves near the site, and how much time can Cyclops waste back onto the other side?
That is the important part here. There's no roamers on that northern side, I must say. And that means they need to get a hand on this quickly. They need to move through, they need to take their control, and they need to be moving, well, swift and silent. Need to get close as quickly as possible, deal with this class preferably, well, rather sooner than later, as Crazy Papillon is receiving a bit of a pepper from the SMG-11.
Nothing to bring him down initially. You see they've got made sure that all these flanks are covered off right as well. They got those tracks down inside of Astronomy, leading in towards Trophy and Statuary, and just saying no one can come behind us. So it's more a case of trying to make sure your backside's covered before you're looking to go for a push anywhere else. But I'm always keeping an eye on that clock. It's always been the thing in APAC that when it comes down to the final few seconds execute, he who shoots best tends to win, and that's not an ideal spot to be in for Guts.
Reinforced it right after, so they only put it up for some early pressure. Reinforced it right after. Electroclaw now coming through from Gator. He's going to be making sure that that wall remains closed, and Uren now will be in a hard position as he needs to put pressure down from Study into the actual side. But if he's not going to be able to do that, it is going to be only this one choke point they need to push through, and the Clash will be there to try and slow them down, potentially deal some damage as well. The last 35 seconds, you see that they want to enter. Smoke canisters being used to counter things off. None left, though, on Galarada, and that means that they will have 30 seconds exact to try and go for that execute.
Yura is trying to do what he can down here. Doesn't know someone's just pushing towards Study. It's Black Ray playing at the top of the stairs, looking to pincer onto him when it comes through, or just spray the X-Kairos off the wall. It was so pivotal that they got that open so they could be able to push them back inside the vault and force them in towards the other side. But here comes the execute. Smoke grenade down, light in spot. Plant is being hit. Allenson hanging near the door, though. They're pushing around the side, but no, these fights go the way of Guts here. We run down to nothing. It's a triple kill for Black Ray, the man himself, the hero through Study. Cyclops, first round going their way. Very decisively. Guts, a bit one-dimensional there, happened. That was my biggest worry.
Definitely. There's multiple ways to deal with that clash, and you know, you saw how impactful that clash was. It basically stopped the plant, and not the plant itself, but like the actual execute to get onto the side, stalled it for at least a minute, if not more. And then when they finally went in, they all got slowed as well, making it easier for the defenders to actually reply to him. Just a simple Ash charge from below, followed up, or a double impact from Zofia from below would have been enough to get that kill in. But that is not the case, and that means Cyclops will be taking round number 1. Now the Echo will be brought out. The Clash gets 6 picked away.
It was Black Ray there on the flank more than anything else. We mentioned dealing with the X-Kairos.
Yep.
And coming in behind, no one expecting Study to be a thing, because Yura initially was holding down that angle. But sadly, Black Ray more of a destruction ray at that case and just tears through the whole lineup. This means Trophy and Statuary is where we go to next. Not going to see a Clash being returned this time, but we are going to see a C4 coming out with the Pulse and coming out of the Bandit. And this isn't uncommon here in APAC. We do see a lot of these C4-based plays. A good number of teams love playing with Pulse. 18% ban rate coming into this competition goes to show that he is perhaps more favoured by this region over many others. The one thing I always look towards in seeing an IQ, towards seeing an Echo, is there an IQ on the other side? Back in the first series today, we called out a few times and said, where's the IQ? Not once did we see it.
Not a single time, indeed.
Oh yeah, because who needs to deal with invisible drones, right? Who needs to worry about being blasted in the final few seconds and losing a round over one tiny little gadget?
Who needs that? Just click the heads, right? Just like
one droney boy attached to the ceiling. Good luck.
All right. Well, 3 minutes, meaning the action phase has yet again started. Cyclops will be having a bit of an extension into Aviator Games, as they are now in Trophy Statuary. We'll get some of the attention of Guts Gaming themselves as well.
Dun dun.
That is a dangerous one right here. Is going to be able to get a bit of a tag down into JJ. Still playing with the suppressor, mind you, on Galarada on that Pulse. It's going to be at least scaring them off just a little bit.
I remember the whole suppressor thing, like, completely blew our minds when we first saw it. Like, what? Why is everyone playing suppressor? And some coaches were like, visual bug. And we're like, it's not, though. They're still running them. It's still a thing.
It fits every single day on the same players. It's not a visual bug to come through. It's a bit of a challenge coming through there, but not any shot being hit as of yet. JJ won, like, worrying about 2 different angles.
Jiggle beats.
Able to get at least one of the yokais out. I believe that was... And Kang still holding on. C4 coming in. Light will be losing his life. That's the Nomad gone. Galarada trying to go even more aggressive, but he will be taken down from the main stairs. JJ able to pick up that kill with that G8A1. Puts a drone into the flank hold position right now just to make sure no one else will come down. And with 1 minute 40 left, they seem to have control of Aviator Games as the defenders fell off.
It's kind of this initial explosion of activity, and then silence, stillness, as the attackers finally get themselves set up on the south side of the map. But what I will give to Cyclops is here is they have burnt a lot of time. Only now are we really starting to see the side of Guts Gaming get drones up towards the north and down these red stairs. They've been very happy sat there saying, you know what, 1-on-1, 90 seconds wasted, we'll take that. And probably most importantly, Light is dead. So those smokes that they relied on in the last round are not going to be available for Guts. That might make this execute so much more difficult to pull off.
Definitely make it more difficult to pull off, as you just said. Lily, the man who we talked about, he needs to step up for his team to make sure Guts is going to have a better chance of survival. 50 seconds left. They're setting themselves up slowly for an execute, Des. Drones are coming in, they're trying to get the information out. All around landing right here. Hoping to find an opening, but they're not sure as of where it is yet. Stunts being tossed in, but that's more of a proximity check just to make sure no one is in the actual area. Look at Suzu still below, might have a C4 available to him. Could be playing a crucial role into this attack and to actually stop it.
They know what the play is. They know that Crazy's trying to go for the plant here as well. So with Suzu being downstairs, all it's going to take is a call that, yes, he is inside the site. That trigger is pulled, and the round is over for Guts Gaming. 15 seconds is all they've got. They don't have control of Master Wall. They have nothing on their side right now. They've got to be so mindful of the fact these drones are going to tell them everything. The Echo drone was not deployed, but there it is. The C4 that we call comes out. There's only 3 seconds left. Lily has got to stick this one, but I don't see how it's going to happen in a 3 versus 3. I say that a kill comes in for JJ. 3 versus 2, but can they find the planter? Storms around and finds one. Yes, he does, but it's down and deployed. Not that it matters, because Iregator's in a spot to be able to get this one off. They've just got to make sure that Anderton can hold up against JJ right now. He's going to try and creep his way through. Can they manage to find this tag? He just goes for the spray and finds the head. It's all on JJ. It's a triple kill in 1 round, but can they find the opposition in time? Pistols out, knows where he is, needs to repeat round again. He's coming in close himself. 20 seconds on the clock. He's got about 10 seconds to win this 1 versus 1. Goes in, but JJ, what a round coming out of him. 4 kills, and round number 2 goes the way of Guts.
Perfectly played out right there. They had the cover, they had the flank watch. Were able to get that plan down, make sure no one was going to be able to peek there. Yes, of course, they managed to almost bring it back, turn it into a 1-on-2 situation. And if they would have stuck the plan from the start, they would have had it. But they did not know, of course. There was not enough information to actually give that out. And because of that, it's now 1-1. Guts able to secure that round, even though it looked lost.
That was just JJ snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, because we mentioned you could see the setup, you could see Cyclops had everything planned out perfectly. In a position where a C4 was waiting downstairs and they said, just tell me when he walks in the room, man. I'll pull the trigger and game's done. Wasn't quite that simple. All down to JJ. Getting that blood flowing through his veins and able to go and pick up 4 kills for his team. Beautiful stuff. That does put us at 1-on-1, and on Villa, admittedly, on the attacking side, any round you can get is a good round. Downstairs we head, so Cyclops opting not to repeat Trophy and Statuary, going for the 3-site rotation. This is where it gets a bit dicey. The off-site is where some teams really start to fall apart on the defense, and I'm keen to see if we can see Cyclops take this one.
However, indeed, if Cyclops are going to be able to take this one, it might be proving that last round was just a bit of a slip-up. See a very heavy hold coming down towards a certain side into that living room. Reinforced and electrified walls into this.
They like this bandit.
They do like the bandit, that's for sure.
They like the C4s. They've got 4 of them. Hap.
That is gonna be, for sure, Anaton playing on side, guiding his fellow Padawans into getting these C4s to make sure that GG is not going to be able to go for the top floor control.
A lot of the focus comes in here on keeping Anaton alive, I think, on the pulse. And he was the player who, back in the Japanese Pro League, was the big standout player for this team, topping the charts in almost every single stat. And then it came to APAC North, and he has been a little bit quiet. And I think that's partly why we've seen Cyclops fall from grace in a way. Yes, they're still here in the top 6. Yes, they're still a successful team. But where they have lagged behind a couple of times, I think comes down to not seeing the same level that we saw coming out of the Japanese Pro League, but it's to be expected. You've taken all these teams, thrown them in a bowl and said, let's see what comes out the other side. And so far, Cyclops have been the ones who have been on the kind of downturn, or on the down end of that, I should say.
Definitely so. Coming in 6th. Right here, we'll be able to spot at least one, indeed. Play the music.
The Jaws music.
Surely soon, a C4 will follow, but Guts is staying outside for just a little while longer, as I believe one of the members of Cyclops just jumped down from that split.
It's the timing I'm always watching out for, because that's really bitten Guts a couple of times. And in fact, quite a few teams in APAC, when it comes down to, as I mentioned earlier on, those late round executes, not always what they're meant to be or what they intended them to be. So keep an eye on how long it takes them to get the full top 4 control without being blown up by those C4s. If a couple of kills swing through onto the side of Cyclops, this round can be over before it's even started. We are 1 out of 4 C4s down. That one was on towards the Astro window. No one is dead.
Crazy Papillon knew what was going to happen there. Probably hurt the Velcro rip-off went as far away as he possibly could and make sure that that C4 was not going to be able to find anybody. And it looks like right now we'll be jumping down through that hatch in that master bedroom. There's a lot of people around the area. Anaton has given away so much information to the rest of his team as well. They know they do not have to worry about any horizontal take as of yet, as they're all still upstairs. And Light, he will continue to open stuff up right here, using that super surety on the gridlock, making sure that they have all the vertical angles they need to go in for that plant. Breaching round coming in as well. They're literally focusing on opening everything up as the C4 gets ripped. I'm not totally sure where, but I do hear it. Let's Guts Gaming now, 40 seconds, trying to find out whether they can go or not, because
rush drop.
these C4s, they need to go for that drop indeed. There is nothing else they can do at this
They want the wall, they want the electrified wall, but they haven't got rid of the gadgets.
Oh!
And he gets C4'd out as he's trying to find the gadgets. That wall is staying firmly closed, my friends, which means the doorway is going to be the focus. They nearly managed to pick up the smoke through that, but not enough damage to bring down Suzu. So they're in a spot now where it's going to be all or nothing to try and push in. You're still facing up against another smoke. It's a second C4 kill. I said to you, if they find 2 C4 kills, this round is done. Yura is in, trying to go for a plant, but they knew this was a Hail Mary. They knew there was no way they'd be able to pull this one back. It's a 1 versus 4, no diffuser in hand. Somehow, I don't think JJ can repeat past successes. He gets picked up by the Cat Can trap, and that is a very comfortable round coming out for Cyclops.
It's a very comfortable round, and this is what you said. This can break the defense if they fall apart on this offside. It's not looking good for them. This looked nothing like falling apart.
No, that was the
opposite.
Probably strongest defense. It's probably the strongest defense I think I've seen so far today. They just knew what was going on, and you mentioned yourself, the Pulse was just feeding all the information. Yeah. And when the attackers are focused very purely on it getting in towards Master, dropping through the hatch, getting that electrified wall open, it becomes a very different story. And if the electrification wasn't there, if the Kai, well, the Bandit in the last round, but the Kai coming through now was not there, that could have been a very different story, because that wall would have been much easier to get opened up and wouldn't have had to worry faffing around inside of the connector towards bathroom trying to get the Bandit batteries removed. We go back to Aviator and Games, rotating back to where we started. Last time round, it was Cyclops who came out on top on this one. Remember that crazy execute coming through, built around the Clash, for example. Mirror is going to make an appearance, so although last round we saw the shotgun holes in the wall, this time round it is a real Mirror, I assure you of that, Hat.
Well, we might also see the other opportunity for the take right here from Guts, because when they came from the northern side, they ran into that Clash, which wasn't really something they were prepared to deal with. So we might see a more heavy take on the study right now.
You know what the focus was then?
You have the Mirror.
They were just like, where do people like to plan? Oh, right, they like to plant behind Vault Door. How do we stop them doing that?
I'll put a Clash inside.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, you can open it up from below and play around C4s. You can maybe hold an awkward angle and play with the smoke. I don't know. Oh, no. Let's just go and stick a shield there. That's the one. And you know what? Sulf VG, I agree with you. I said Cyclops 2-1 as well. That's where I think this game's going. I mean, it's currently 2-1. We didn't say if it was the whole series score or the map score. So at least I'm right at a given point in time here.
Yeah. You're not on the 0% totally.
No.
I like how I was bullied with the 0% doing like everything else, and now I'm, you know, sitting here.
Basically, mate, if you want to get 100%, just don't listen to me. Just disagree with me always.
Yeah, that's why I was worried that you have Cyclops as well.
I like the underdogs. I'm a big fan.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't see Cyclops as the underdogs because they have more experience in important tournaments.
They do.
I think that experience is going to be pulling them through in a best of 3. That's why I chose it.
The one big thing about both of these teams that we didn't touch on too much earlier on is that their games in the second phase have been against weaker opposition. Neither team beat a team that is here at this competition. And that's a worry, I guess, in showing that you can't deliver against the big teams when it really matters. Here is where it really has to matter, because if they win today, they go against Cloud9 tomorrow, who are the best attacking team in the competition. 66% win rate on attack? That is unheard of.
And even when Cloud9 like seems to be struggling with the time management, they just drop in with 15 seconds and get 5 kills within 5. So
Easy.
it doesn't seem to matter for them.
Emmy Taylor's just there like, this game you guys full siege, it's not hard. What are you talking about?
It's not hard at all. And, you know, the winner of this one will eventually have to worry about those two, Shao and Taylor, to go up against. And look at Aviator. He's all the way downstairs in the basement. Not really, he's like in between the basement and the first floor. Just waiting to ascend the stairs.
That is interesting, because there's such a big focus towards study and the study stairs now.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, it's... I imagine it's more of the late round roam when he gets the call that now is the time to come and join us. You'll find him just pushing his way up red stairs, for example, because he could be the massive spoiler here. And you can even see this Black Ray holding downstairs trying to call. Oh, they missed him on the drone. If that turns around, those in trouble. Do they expect someone to follow? I think that's what he's waiting for here, or he could have pushed upstairs and gone really aggressive there. Still thinks that drone is going to come back. He would be wrong.
He's just waiting. He's just trying to get the information out. Grenade will be tossed in just to make sure that no electrification would be coming through, so the electric class not going to be effective. And as I said, they will be focusing on both Study and the 90 hallway right now, and that means that these openings are going to be key. Gatorada, you need to walk to your left if he gets one. This might
get the shotgun out, bro.
Yes, indeed, get the shotgun out of this. No, he does not. Peeks with the SMG, gets one. It's all up to Yura now. He's all alone in Study, will be taken out, and it's Black Great with the last kill. A flawless round from Cyclops, and they're putting themselves up to 3. As he took down that claim with a drone, not spotting him out, finishing it off, but it didn't really matter at that moment in time anymore anyway.
This is why you play a stealthy game, Guts, because you know when it comes down to fisticuffs and actually being all about the brawn, Cyclops the ones who walk away with the kills. Absolute slaughter in the dying seconds there. Beautiful stuff, and Cyclops put themselves at 3-1. We go back to Trophy and Statuary, and this was the last round, if you recall, where we saw the attackers win, where Guts walked away victorious despite Cyclops playing it to near perfection. They had the C4 on the right time, the clock was about to hit 0. Somehow they managed to stick the diffuser and get it off, and part of it, dare I say, the fact that Echo Drone was just left limp and not really attached to a ceiling, able to blast anyone or being invisible, came back to bite them big time.
It was visible as well. That's the big thing. Like, he could see it, he shot it, he went for the plant. Yes, he got C4'd right after, but he took down the yokai, and I think that was more important.
You can hear it. It's just like, zzz,
yeah, you hear it.
Like, right, okay, we know how this goes unless we deal with that. So
is that like that annoying fly when you're laying in bed and you're like, where is it?
Yeah.
You know, you're like, you're
except this one blasts you with a sonic, like,
yes.
Well, blast.
And it tosses your balance off guard. But, it's a bit of a difference. But same principle nonetheless. 20 seconds in the prep phase. Cyclops definitely putting up a good score right here, but something we do have to mention every single time on Villa, if you get 2 or 3 rounds as the attack, you are in good waters. So if Guts managed to pick up one more, they should not be too worried going over to the second half.
I'd say it wouldn't be too bad. I'm worried more about how the game has played out so far, and that Cyclops have been dominant in every single round. Now, given it was their map pick, they're in a spot where they're coming into this. Sorry, not their map pick, it was Guts'. They're in a spot where they're looking very dominant. We saw how the last series played out between these guys, where it was a scrap to the bitter end. It went to overtime. We haven't seen overtime yet today. Will we see it again now?
It's APAC. What haven't we seen? Yeah,
APAC and overtime?
Range. I mean, I'm used to casting 45 rounds a day, so I wasn't expecting any less here. As JJ trying to fight Gatorada as he was on a scanner, he's not going to be able to land a single bullet.
He's coming back for extra punishment here. He wants a second dish. He wants dessert. Not sure on the game plan there, because if the IQ's lurking around, they're going to pick you up. And given how many times Guts have walked into C4s, they are more than aware of the issue being presented to them. So JJ, I would say his job is to make sure Gatto is under control.
He's checking his sensor now. It is going up.
I love how they've abandoned south as well. So do you know what? We know there's a pulse lurking.
There's 1 or 2 guys at least there. Let's focus on master bedroom.
Because they rotated here at the end of the last round, but just left it a little bit late, and they were forced then to try and push the diffuser up through the top of landing and into sight. So I like here earlier on, they've kind of acknowledged defeat and said, you know what, forget about it. Let's go and push a different angle. We did touch on it earlier on in the last series, by the way. Thatcher isn't banned here. We're seeing electronics round after round after round. Why not being brought along?
Definitely. Might not. Yes. Like, I'm just thinking about now how much would they actually like to go through the breaches, but they breach every single time. And I mean, to be honest, they do deal with the electronics quite effectively, so it's not necessary, but it does make life a lot easier as Lily is ready on the Astro stairs to go up. But look at Gatorado. What? Crazy Papillon, he had no information, just stumbled upon him by pure coincidence. And Lily and Light are now going to challenge him, and Aegator will pick him up, and suddenly Guts Gaming are going to be picked up by just a crazy coincidence to come through, and they will fall apart all due to that. As Blackgrid gets Lily, he will get downed, but it's a 2-on-4 effective situation. Guts Gaming will definitely not be looking good right here as Yura drops down just to try and deal with Gatorado with a minute left.
How much damage Gatto has done in this round is unbelievable. Finding himself the kill on the downstairs has drawn more than enough attention. I believe he's still got a C4. Can we look at that medics really quickly? If Gatto has still got a C4 in his back pocket? I'm guessing yes. There he does. They've got 2 on side and still got a smoke canister. They've got so much to play with here as we enter the final stage of this round. 35 seconds to go, Hap. Guts are up against it.
Indeed, Yura all the way on the other side will be pushing towards landing as JJ is all alone here in Astronomy. Needs to find 1 or 2 kills. He's going to get tanked up from the left, but that means the peak will come in from the right. We'll be able to pick up Aegator to start things off, but he's not going to be able to find the second one as of yet. He's all alone right now. 1v3. They know exactly where he is due to the pulse sensor. The blue fires come in, and Cyclops will win that round as well. Suzu with the last kill. Cyclops up 4-1. And there's only one round left to go for them onto their defense before they go over to the attack to try this themselves.
Cyclops are looking terrifying, man. But like you say, and I always say it myself, there are two halves to a game of Siege. You can see completely different teams step into round number 7 than the ones that departed in round number 6. It's like they step into a time chamber and come out a completely transformed team sometimes. And it's about that carrying of momentum between sides that is really going to define how this series is going to play out.
2 members in Guts Gaming have kills right now. JJ on 7, Lily on 2. The rest completely being shut down. 1 assist each. Kag is in control.
I'll tell you what, JJ, I'll tell you what you do, mate. You get your mobile phone out, you get on WhatsApp, you go into the team group chat, you press call and go, guys, by the way, there's a game going on right now. Can you join?
Can you please join the server, because you're not really helping out that much now.
It's been rough, but expected. They have been very fairly matched by the side of Cyclops. Downstairs we head. We'll recall again what happened at the last round. 4C4s, check. Members playing downstairs, check.
Napkin, check.
Pulse, check.
So check.
They've got all the tools they need here to have a repeat of the last round, and it's all going to come down to what Guts do. I like, as the big change we've immediately seen is the Thatcher being brought along by Light, because they really struggle with getting the double wall open to get themselves inside of the A site and try and go for the plant. So set up all you like around Master Wall, ladies and gents. It doesn't matter if you're being C4'd from below, so I'm hoping that with the Thatcher on side, we can see them get that second elusive attacking round on Villa.
They'll have to go for that for the wall. Just
oh no,
C4 spawn. C4 spawn. No one is
No.
there anyway. But it's a beautiful toss. That, I got to say that. But the Thatcher is going to be able to speed things up with at least 30 seconds to maybe a minute. Also taking down some of the EDDs, the entry denial devices that Capcom brings, and that might be able to save them just a little bit. Now that's unfortunate they didn't hear.
It did last round, remember? Final kill was from the
last
EDD.
one was from the EDD, so might not be able to happen now if the EMPs will be lending rate.
See if it comes out again. Seems to be the focus is on the downstairs, mind you, for now. However, maybe not strictly in the right place. So a bit of a transform compared to what we saw in the last round. You actually see for a lot of the attackers, they are spread here. You've got 2 or 3 out towards the west, a couple out towards the east, and it kind of screams, we want to split. We don't want to get picked off by playing from above again. So Cyclops have successfully got into their minds here, and as we would always say, are now living rent-free, saying be fearful of those C4s from below, which means a more lateral attack needs to take place. We've seen teams make these work, but you've got to be so careful still of the fact there are C4s on side. They'll throw them at doorways as you run in. You might just find yourself getting your head blown off before you can even see a bomb.
They might toss them over the walls as well as Crazy Papillon right here trying to challenge out on Black Gray. I believe that is who is playing in the living room, but now will fall back, drop through the hatch, go back up onto the rat stairs right now. And they have no clue. There's no drone on side. And I mean, look at how many drones they have left. There is so many drones in this 90-second mark. They should be droning more actively.
They're trying.
Dadarada comes in from the back, yet again able to pick up a kill. A drone just followed him into the library there. Just a quick 180. You would have seen he's up on those stairs. That will be missed, and you're losing out on your attention now. And that is going to be making things exponentially harder now to open things up with 70 seconds left to go. Hello,
the thing is, I can count. Maths are hard. They most definitely saw the diffuser go down there as well, so they should know in this situation where the attack is coming from. And you can see Gado, he's saying, you know what, you guys have been up on top floor. I'm going to move in. I'm the new tenant here in this location, and you will not be allowed to have it. And so far, they are running amok across the top side of the map, just taking every which staircase they can to run down and try and pick up the occasional kill or two. And Guts are just kind of, it's almost like being stung by an invisible enemy here that is not sure where they're going to strike from next. They're in a spot where they can push in from the red hallway. But the problem is you're pushing in through a single doorway, and you're in a spot where someone no doubt is holding nice and close. It's Suzuki, probably with a shotgun in hand on the smoke too, just waiting, daring them to even sniff at the site.
Indeed, using his X-Kairos now to open up into Memoriam, able to maybe create an angle that could be useful for any of the attackers, but he's the only one there. Lily will now join him, and they need to push in, but
come on, boys.
Keep in mind, there is going to be that shield still on site, that the smoke of Suzu's playing behind. Gadarada still up top, they spotted ahead, but they're not going to be able to find a kill as of yet. Lily is going to be trying to push in right here. He needs to move first. C4 will be shot down, and that means no kill will be found, but it's going to be the flank now. JJ needs to move in. They have some control. Is it going to be enough, though? It might not be the case, as Gadarada will be coming in for the last kill. It's Gator, however, to do it with the TCSG 12th, and it's going to be Cyclops to get that kill, get the round, and put themselves up to 5-1.
Just look at how that final kill came about. 3 directions the final attacker was being pushed from, and that was Gator coming down the astronomy stairs. It was Gado's upstairs earlier on. It seems anything that Guts aren't focused on taking, can't just say, we're taking the lot.
We'll take it ourselves.
Yeah, if you're not going to bother, then we will. And you mentioned how many drones they had left alive, but these flanks weren't really accounted for. That initial flank coming out of Gatto and finding out where the diffuser was just gave CAG all the information they needed. And the story stays true. Look, 10 kills across 6 rounds. That's not how you win a map, guys.
It's definitely not how you win a map. Gotta mention, though, no touch are being brought either from Cyclops right now, but they do have the IQ.
Let's see how fast they learn. That's the big question. When you realize you're playing up against electrification, how many rounds does it take you to adapt? Because a lot of teams very fairly will say, you know what, we can get above, we can get below, we can blow these things out safely.
Depends on whether or not Guts Gaming is playing below. If they do not go below, if they all stay up top, it's going to be A Gator, goes downstairs, just shoots them out, 4 bullets, all you need. All the battery is gone, you can open up and you can attack the site. So really, actually it might electrify this wall right here.
Interesting. Yes, a big hold up towards the north, potentially coming in here. Okay, I like it. It's a very committed extended hold here where you're putting in not just reinforcements, but also playing, like you say, behind the mirror window. The reason why they're only electrifying that one wall is to make sure the mirror window can't be abandoned off or destroyed in any other way. Outside of getting downstairs and destroying it from below, problem there is you're then burning things like the breaching rounds coming out of the ash. But the nice thing I think that Cyclops have got on side here is that buck. And since his change where he lost his frag grenades, a lot of people have kind of written him off and said Sledge is the better choice. In cases like this where you've got a lot of vertical or upward soft destruction to do, he is still fantastic for it.
That is still the case, and that was always basically the argument, right? Like you had Buck and Sledge, both had grenades, both did self-destructing, but Buck was able to do it upwards, and that is something Sledge wasn't able to do, so in case he was always superior. However, now, due to losing his frag grenades, he made him more of a situational operator, and thus we will see him here.
A big focus on splitting around the map once more. This time around, it's Cyclops doing that, and we saw in the last round how the focus moved over towards being out towards the west for the side of Guts. They put all their eggs in one basket, and sadly that basket had a hole in the bottom, and all those eggs dropped through and cracked. But for Cyclops initially, the basket's holding true. Might show a bit of strain as the round progresses. 60 seconds in, no one's gone down or really taken a challenge anywhere just yet. But at some point there needs to be some kind of unification in where they're trying to push from. Looks like the main focus for iGator is getting below and dealing with that mirror window.
Well, they already left it, so if they just get a drone in there, they should not have to worry about it. There's quite some drones on site. You see how many are active right there? There's a lot of flank drones as well on the Cyclops that I managed to spot down before. And as right now, they're going to be dealing with the bandit batteries. You see the ash below, just waiting, but they might just use the IQ to take it out. I'm not totally sure. Now they're just going to go for the safe approach. Get it with the ash charge. Instantly, X-Kairos following up. It's going to be a concussion to come through double as well to make sure that no trick could occur. And that means the wall will be opened up, creating an angle, making sure no one can play behind the bar anymore.
It's one of the most common angles as well, because you get a nice angle when you're laid down as the attackers to see all the way through into game stream. Just like this here, you are basically not able to play inside there at all. So it's a nice angle to have open here. It puts some pressure on the defenders. Now the question comes for Cyclops is where do they want to put their focus? They've got 60 seconds to go, and they've got to choose which side of the site they want to push in here. Do they try and take their way down the 90 hallway, or do they put all the focus in towards Aviator and try and go for a plant there instead?
The issue here is they have neither of the two key positions. They do not have main stairs, they do not have landing control. And as JJ peeks in, we'll get the down onto Aegator, swapping over to the shotgun, but not able to get the kill secured yet. Smoke canister will be used to do so, as Euro will be able to get up Anaton. So it looks like Guts Gaming might be in the driver's seat for this one, especially with Euro picking up yet another one. It's all up to Black right now. It's the Buck, usually the one-man army, but is he going to be able to find the kills? Finds one to start things off, knows another one is descending on these main stairs. But with 16 seconds left, there's almost no time left, and Guts Gaming should have this one in the back.
Cyclops have basically got out a big red flag there and waved it in front of the bull of Guts and been like, you're going to bite? You're going to bite? And at the time that they felt they can really go in there and go for the kill, Guts have come back aggressive, and Black Ray is going to let this one time out. They did the right things, but not with enough conviction or not with enough, dare I say, aggression coming into it as well. And Guts will find that first defensive round quite convincingly, just like we always say, 2 halves to a game of Siege.
Indeed, 2 halves, and we know that, well, normally it's actually the attack that is favored in APAC. This time, not so much. Trophy statuary. Not
some teams.
Dining kitchen week.
Unless your name is Faf, apparently. No, it's the other way around. They're just not good defensively. They're very good in attack, though.
I was going to say, their attack was good. Not.
There must be a team that is better at defending than attacking here.
I think it's Giants. They're
only because they're so damn good at defending, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, they always get these clutches in. But anyway, 2-5 currently. We're seeing some kills being spread out across Guts Gaming compared to what we've seen before. It's definitely a good start. Let's see if they can keep that up, though, as Finca will be 6 picked out into the buck. So they're choosing to trade out 2 grenades for soft destruction.
Interesting. I mean, in a spot now where they've got to deal with 3 C4s coming out. So not quite the 4 that we saw coming out of Cyclops on their defensive side, but there are still options to play with on the side of Guts. They wanted to bring the Jaeger along here, and that seems to be the key focus, is can we catch those grenades burn through that utility. You look over at the side of Cyclops, though, and there is a lot of it. I mentioned before about the Buck and how much work he can do in opening up floors. You got to consider the fact as well he still has 3 flashes on side. Across the whole team, there are 9. Doesn't matter whether you bring the Jaeger and the Wamai, you're still going to find yourself having to deal with all of those grenades singing in towards your team.
Which grenades?
Putting a focus on the upstairs, actually.
It's flashbangs.
Okay.
Anyway, indeed, focus upstairs. Well, we see 2 or 3 people playing up there. Maybe even 4. If it's 4, we're just going to see a cut straight to side.
I want to see a rush. I just want to see a rush from Pantry. Let's do it.
I mean, Crazy Papillon is there on that pill, so he's going to be able to call it if a rush is going to be coming through. And Cyclops doesn't seem to be aware, considering the place where they spawned. And that means they will be taking it slow.
Typical Ash players dropping the diffuser and being like, I don't want it. It's not mine.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
It's not my job.
Bit of an estafette right here. The Hibana picks it up, drops it down to Gator.
It's like passing a baton in a relay. Hey. Now it's Gator with it on side.
That's it. Gator. Will he hand it over to Black Ray, though? Just to
complete the full relay. Why not? Oh, Yura. Hello. One of the big entry players of this team. Plus 12 in the regular split. Matched by Lily being on minus 12, mind you, but still showing his worth once again here with an opening kill. And that's onto Gatto, so that's quite a bit of soft destruction removed from the field as well.
Not just that, but also 2 of these stuns that Sophia brings along are going to be gone and no longer allowed to be used, or able to be used, rather. This Buck opening up some extra angles right here. Able to potentially challenge the Astros stairs. Opening up the hatch as well, just in case there is any basement play. I'm not sure, is there anyone up there? No, no one is up there. The complete basement is clear. We have 2 people down on site. Now, if Cyclops still recognizes this, they could be going for a quick push from, well, both the kitchen door and maybe Memorial, and they might be picked up as a result of that.
It depends entirely on if these players playing upstairs can rotate fast enough or have the right angles being held on the top floor. So to come down to timer once again is the one thing that I fear. Anderson, though, strikes onto Crazy Papillon. He's straight inside of the site. Forget about opening walls. He says, why don't we just charge in and click on heads? Yura finds a second in this round, mind you, and Irongazer isn't going for a plant here as they don't have enough control. It's been shut down pretty early. Oh, there we go. An easy spray through coming out of JJ. Down goes Irongazer. 4 versus 2. And this should be another round for Guts.
That's a big mistake right there, going for that breaching charge. In that moment in time when you have site control, you're not going to be trying to put down breaching rounds if you know everybody's still upstairs. Right. And it's yet again all up to Black Gray now. He's in a 1-on-4 situation. 50 seconds, though, is a lot of time for him to work with. If he's going to be able to force himself into 4 1v1s, it might be winnable. Even though not a single member of Guts Gaming, except for Chris Papillon, of course, took that damage. It's going to get spotted out. It won't matter too much. Rotating all the way outside, most likely will be going for a bit of a technical break. Not technical, but strategical break.
Technical break.
Using the
technical pause here.
Technical pause. No. Strategical
My gun
pause.
is jammed.
Need to clean it for the next round.
I mean, he did this in the last round, just kind of wasted a bit of time, and he seems to be going for the same focus again. I imagine for the team it's the discussion point here, because they know in these rounds what's going wrong, and they know, look, let's talk about this. Make sure in the next round we come into this one and hit it hard. Admittedly, you're not going to be able to stop Yura being at a window and spraying you down as you try and push into the building, but a big round from him. 3 kills will give Guts their 3rd round. 5 and 3, and Cyclops probably thought they were very in the clear after that first half, but Guts, that rampaging bull's not far away, dudes. It's over the horizon. It's a whole herd coming for you. And I get fearful. If this goes to 5 and 4, Cyclops may well end up just losing this map, I think.
That might indeed be the case. Cyclops really needs to step it up now. They need to get at least 1 round in. And, well, we go to trophy stat tree, so there is an opportunity to take it home here. And I'm not sure what they picked to go on for the overtime, but it could just as well be defense. But I'm not too sure.
Well, at this point in the last series, after seeing teams pick to start an attack on both maps, even Oregon, where it was so heavily defender-leaning, I don't know anymore, Hat.
Because Guts chose to start on defense here. No, Cyclops chose to start on defense here. So
yes,
Guts gets to choose for.
There you go. Guts overtime defense. The voice of God, or medics as we call him.
Voice of God has spoken, and that means that Guts, if they manage to bring it to overtime, have a big advantage.
Oh, look what I'm excited by. It's 2 frags. But it's the Finker and what she can do. We spoke to Xavier about this in the week. Had a chat with Onigiri and asked him, you know, why the Finker? What's the big obsession with it here in APAC? And he said to me, it's more that Bunker Buster-esque style. You get that plus 20 HP boost up, you get the lower ADS time. If you're walking into anything like an Ella, then guess what? She's not going to be able to hit you so much. And we saw in the replay package for them earlier on, often when coming into a 1 versus 1, they'd still pull the trigger. Just saying, you know, 120 HP versus 100, we're pretty confident we can win that engagement. So it isn't always for big team executes. Sometimes it can just be for duels or for skirmishes.
Definitely so. That's also the extra 2 grenades that you will be able to bring along. That'd be helpful. I like the Maestro, the Evil Eye that was actually placed in Master Bedroom. Right on the edge of the hatch, able to look inside, potentially even not sure if he can get the angle, but able to take down a hard breach onto that wall.
Look inside, see what you might find. Bad dude's probably going to be the answer. Other double electrification coming out as well, by the way. Yura and JJ.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be
and guess what?
No Thatcher.
There's no Thatcher.
I mean, what's a Thatcher nowadays, right? I mean, it's just...
What is a Thatcher? No one knows. It's been banned.
The easy mode on Rainbow Six.
The easy mode. Last time we just big brain, mate. 2 years ago they were banning Thatcher away. 60% ban rate, I think it was in Season 9. Yeah. Now the whole world's doing it.
Well, it's not banned, but it's just not being played. Similar thing, though. No Thatcher on the board. Grenade will be taking care of some of the... the breach denial devices that were there, as in the Electric Claw, meaning that an Excaris will pop and create a little bit of an opening.
Just a teeny tiny little bit.
Teeny tiny.
Focus still comes down to a pulse, and you see again why there's a big focus on it in APAC. Yes, playing behind only the 3 C4s again, but 3 can be enough sometimes, as it has been in previous rounds. Admittedly, Yura said, C4s, Shmi4s, no one needs those. Was more than happy to find 3 kills for his team with the gun alone. You see the focus is coming in here. They've hit the button on that Finker. The grenades are coming out here. Going to connect onto JJ, but not enough to bring him down. The spray comes through. The kite is low. He's laid down. The spray comes out, but it's a trade. It's Crazy Papillon. Strikes black. Strikes black? He does strike black. Black against Black Ray. Brings him down as well. It's a 5 versus 3, but 1 is down here. JJ is pretty much out of action, and I don't expect with how hot the kill zone is, there'll be anyone trying to go for a res anytime soon.
You're not going to be able to get across for sure, but Lions is going to be able to take down Anaton, so they might be able to save his KD anyway. If another one comes in, Lily able to pick up on against the second as well. Flawless round from Guts Gaming. And we are heading closer and closer towards the moment where Guts Gaming is going to be tying things up yet again. If that's going to be happening, Cyclops, they will have to look back at what just happened twice.
It's interesting how this being the map choice coming out for Guts, you sit here and think, oh, they're a team who can defend this, they're a team who can attack it, why wouldn't they be able to? They chose to come here, and in the first half, they looked like a stranger to this map, like they have never walked the halls of Villa before, and Cyclops are the ones who look like they've been residents for a long time, but here, once it switched over, as we said a couple of times, 2 halves to a game of Siege. Right now it feels like it's Cyclops are the ones who need to wake up and remind themselves there is a game to be won, as they have barely found a kill in this second half. I think it's only been 3 or 4 on the board in the last 4 rounds.
It's definitely not going well for them, and that flawless round kind of shows the picture, completes it. Guts Gaming on the rise again. The Cyclops, they had a very convincing first half, and then we said it, there's always 2 halves to a game of Siege. It's not over yet. Make sure you're ready for the next one, as Guts Gaming is definitely seeming ready, and Cyclops struggling.
And Coastline will be the next map we go to as well. A bit more around the gunfights, and we've seen how it's kind of traded up between both teams so far. I'd give a slight lean probably over to the side of Guts, given how the second half has played out. But we all know that Coastline here in APAC has only got a 32% win rate on sites for the defenders. It is very, very attacker-leaning. So aren't you viewers lucky? You get to see a real disparity here between Villa and Coastline and get to witness the full breadth of enjoyment that APAC has to offer you. But first, we've got to finish off on Villa. Aviator and Games, where we're going to head in round number 10. And Guts Gaming on the defense once more. Cyclops have got to change the game plan here. It has not worked for 4 rounds. They haven't yet struck lucky, or dare I say lucky, more like struck gold. Probably the better way of putting it in round number 2 like Guts did when they won, despite having their plan to C4'd out with only 4 seconds left on the clock. So luck of the Irish needs to be on side of Cyclops here if they're going to find anything in this fixture.
Now you can look back in that round, potentially being the difference between Guts Gaming maybe winning if they continue their current streak. Or Cyclops able to pull it out in the end, because a 6-0 would have definitely been different mental-wise than a 5-1, because a 5-1 still allows you for some mental well, mental breathing space and some mistakes to be made in your game plan as well. Cyclops is losing more and more of these opportunities to make these mistakes. And that means that Guts Gaming definitely coming back. I'm not sure if that is going to be a proper breach. No, it's not. There's a little bit of an angle. Indeed, they missed it. They messed it up.
They tried the impact trip more than anything else, though, and that's what struck the ceiling, I think, too close on the defender side and didn't kill the higher of those sets of X-Kairos. So that's why you've now got this lovely kind of crouch height wall that looks all the way through a hole, I should say. It makes it a bit risky, but maybe Crazy Papillon here is thinking, you know what, I could test that. I could shoot back through. I don't care if they're coming into me from that. Maybe it's down to light, playing inside a vault. But right now, nothing really being forced out of the side of Guts. They're in a spot where they can hold firm. No shields have been destroyed. And that utility going to be a big focus halfway into the round. Need to see a bit more pace coming out of Cyclops.
Definitely need to see that more pace, but it's basically the story that we've had throughout this half so far. I like this shield here. However, normally it's being followed up with the opening of the study wall to allow you to actually try and contest that. Not the case this time. It's Crazy Papillon joining in 90 there. Lily as well.
Study and 90 control.
Yeah, and, like they have all control right here, and Cyclops, they try to open up on the side right now, but no one is actually playing on the side. And with 60 seconds left, you really need to get yourself an opening right here. And they might be animated to try and go for that. The breaching round will go in just to take care of the barbed wire. Here comes the prone peak to come through, but it's not going to be enough yet. And Black Ray just trying to chase down into Crazy Papillon with that skeleton key, and it just keeps on. They keep on not, like, they try to get these gunfights in, but they won't be able to find an entry yet.
They got slaughtered here last time trying to push up the south stairs as well, and it's Yura on the rotate. They have no idea. Finds Anaton, that's the opening kill for them, and suddenly Yura's in a spot where he can rotate back up towards red and look to cause even more damage once he gets back on site. All the pressure sits on the side of Cyclops here. 20 seconds to go. They've lost another man here. It's falling apart at the seams for them. A 5 versus 2, 15 seconds on the clock. We all know how these rounds tend to end.
Oh, might be able to get it one kill, at least a down for Suzu, but it's not going to be enough. 4-2, Aegator confirms one, gets a second one, and suddenly they're inside, but he's not going to be able to crawl through, and that means the plant might not come down. Aegator actually managed to find himself right behind the bar, gets that planted down. It's a 1-on-2 situation, Des.
No
he confirmed
way.
the kill. They might be able to do it. The C4 will rain over. It's not going to be able to. Oh, he gets it down onto Aegator, but he doesn't know that. He will not be aware. He thinks it's a 1-on-2 situation, and Suzu is slowly rotating around because he knows there's that one little opening right there in the wall that they weren't able to use properly before. They might be coming in to actually save him that round. Aegator gets confirmed. Yura now needs to go in for the defuse, but he has no clue where he's from. Oh, he's long-arming it from the top of the desk. This is now jumping in safety, hopefully. 4 seconds. 3 seconds.
Please.
He can't see him! No, he can't see him! Good Gaming will win it! Somehow! They did not see him! And the round is won. You're able to stick it. You should have moved in way earlier right there. At least make a noise. Try to fight it. But Guts will be given the round. Gifted by Cyclops. 5-5. Des, we're equal now. And that should have been that goal that they had to struck to have that one off.
We said at the start that Paris have been kind to us. I've decided it is cruel. It is so cruel. Those are the kind of rounds that I was talking about. The strokes of gold that you need as a team sometimes to pull you through a half. And that was the opportunity for Cyclops. And they can't complete the 2 versus 1 to get the plant down because it was a heroic comeback. But all props over to the side of Guts. They put themselves in such a commanding position here. They've got 2 more defensive rounds to go. And after how this has gone so far, this is done. The way I see it, it is done. Guts can no way lose this.
Guts should have this confirmed indeed, as they will be going back downstairs into kitchen dining.
God damn, they are kicking themselves for that.
They will be kicking themselves. I mean, we're kicking ourselves.
I'm kicking myself as well, Jesus.
Should not have lost that. It was a 1-on-2. Yes, of course, the C4 got that down, but it wasted a lot of time as well. I think it would have even been better to stay on 90 in that case.
It was just, again, we can't take it away from Guts. That was entirely on them as well. Miraculous comeback towards the bitter end. And Yura nonetheless as well. We spoke about him at the start. Oh, he got a free kill down in Art Studio. It was like, cool, rotate back towards site where I'll make an impact later on. Did we not know at the time it was going to be Yura being the big impact player, getting a kill, getting the defuse, all in the nick of time. Incredible stuff. 9-6 for him so far. What a game. JJ a little bit quieter so far in the second half. But after he had a prolific start in round number 2. Those are the 2 rounds this team could need to take this map away from Cyclops. Into round number 11. Not quite yet at match point, but it is as close as can be. The big issue is Guts are the ones on defense, and we have seen this be so defender-leaning. Only a single attacker round win so far.
2 X-Scaras gone. That's unlucky.
And they've got to... Come on, boys! I'll tell you what this is. It's because they haven't seen Thatcher in so long. They're out of practice.
Now,
they don't know timing and coordination.
Like, oh, you're right. Like, he probably they were on a drone, and they're like, he's in mud room, just quickly open it up. So they put 2 X-Scaras on there because there was nothing on there yet. And I mean, you cannot, like, EMP trick. It doesn't take time to activate the Bennett charge. So in that case, it wouldn't have helped. But it is going to be
It's more the fact there's no drone there to know. Like, surely someone is watching it to make sure that wall gets opened.
Yeah, someone should have been aware of the fact that he is running back indeed, and should maybe went for the detonate before the second shot. Anyway, it's going to be Cyclops. They try to put up some extra pace, as we mentioned before. That was highly necessary if they wanted to actually to get around it. Right now, second set of X-Scaras gone. No one will be there, or third set actually. No one will be there to try and counter it off. But Guts Gaming is aware, of course, as well, that this is still upstairs. It's not really what we need. With 90 seconds left, only now they start to take control.
I wonder how valuable those 2 C4s will prove to be. That's what the big focus is for me here, because the focus has gone onto the upstairs. Gatto's going to find the opening kill onto Light, so those C4s are still intact. It was the alibi, playing on the roam, not the end of the world for them, dare I say. But it's more what happens in the latter stages of this round that worries me, because we've seen what C4s can do already. We know that they're still holding on to them now. They've already done a lot of work and wasted so much time. So for Cyclops, when time sensitivity is at its highest, that's when those C4s will be getting ripped. And before you know it, people are being blown sky high.
I'm going to be careful of that indeed. Still Lily downstairs in the basement, hoping to go for a flank at some point, being very patient here. Notice that his teammate got taken down from that same angle. Now just waiting. Black Ray opening up from above. It's going to be Cyclops to put up the pace now. 35 seconds left. Suzu just runs in. It's going to be spotted out by the alibi. First
there's one.
Kill comes in. Indeed, Black Ray will go down. That is going to be Sledge gone. No more verticality being basically created. It's Crazy Papillon right now. Still with the C4 left, probably waiting for a plant sound to come through. You're able to go for the cover right here. Will instantly be traded out though. However, here you go. They're able to get one, but not the second one onto Lily. That was still playing downstairs. Seconds. They're going to be moving in. 15 seconds indeed. Flashbangs to be tossed in. Will be forcing Crazy Papillon off this angle, but they have the hot spot from the alibi Prisman to come in. Clear will come down somehow. It took a long while. It's going to be the trade to come in, but JJ yet again to respond. Hannerton now needs to move in right here from Memoriam, but it's going to be Lily around the corner. We'll be able to pick him up. Guts Gaming are going to match points right here, and they are turning it all the way around. One more to go. Can Cyclops bring this to overtime, where they will have to fight yet again against the defense side of Guts Gaming? Or is Guts going to close it out here?
I don't know. They had their chance, and they threw it away the same way I threw my pen away when it happened. I just couldn't believe it came down to that. And I think the start of this round just a second ago is a great example of what Siege is built on. It's not built on flawless rounds or teams completely steamrolling the other side. It's small moments and small mistakes, things like the lack of a drone, or like in the previous round, not being able to win that 2 versus 1. Those are the things that define games, and there are 2 distinct rounds I can think of, 2 and 10, where Guts won rounds they should not have in the eyes of Cyclops, but great lean towards them and great respect to them for being able to pull them the way they have. 6 and 5, not a single defensive round, a single attacking round won by Cyclops. This is their final chance to turn that around. Otherwise, it's Guts who put themselves 1-0 up and are 1 map away from making it through to that game against Cloud9 tomorrow.
Definitely so. That's a quick electric claw being deployed right there. Not having to deal with it anymore afterwards. Not sure where it actually landed.
On the underside?
It's somewhere up here, right? It's
on the underside, maybe?
No, it's not on the other side.
It.
I think it's on the roof, and you cannot see the roof. With this.
Medic's like, God damn it, I've been foiled by the observing system.
Have been tricked.
He's like, right, let's get a POV and see if someone else shows it us, but no one else has because Light's run away.
Dying. Anyway, windows being opened up, and many might question why that is, Des, but it's of course with the sound. Yeah, the glass. The glass in the window. Yes. But sound is the reason why. Just get that extra bit of information if someone runs past or repels up.
Mm-hmm. Well, last time around it was a big vertical hold, vertical hold that came out when they were looking to defend inside a kitchen. As you expect on this side, it's going to be a similar story. Everyone playing on the upstairs, one inside a basement. Lily looking to play spoiler later in this round, as we've seen from him a couple of times. On the side of Cyclops, it's all going to come down to what they can do without getting picked off earlier on. They've still got hold of the Thatcher. They've got hold of the Habana. You're dealing with the Bandit and the Kai together in one piece. So looking to try and keep those quiet is going to be the big focus, no doubt. Otherwise, they find themselves losing ex-Kairos. The angles they want open will not be open for anyone, even if you say please. This focus is going onto this wall. So this time around, they are going to get it open. There's one playing on the window here, making sure no one is holding close.
Soft.
And they will get the angle open.
I think it was a soft... No, it's not.
I think it was not.
I thought it was soft in that case. I was a bit confused, but it's not. Never mind me. As JJ, we're trying to fall back, putting up some shots, but not hitting any.
Where have we seen this before? JJ and Low Health playing in the back of kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to get some kills from that the last time around. It's a bit of a mess right here, a bit of traffic in that one doorway, just all trying to get through, but no one really committing to it. And they want to get this control so badly of kitchen dining. As JJ playing here, I believe with Yura still. There's a Papillon. Able to get a lot of information out. 2 spots on that heartbeat sensor.
Surely C4 over the top is an option, right? They opened it up on top? No, they
It's
soft
close.
it. Okay, that's curious.
There we go. Now the EMP will come through, and that will allow Hibana to open up, create that angle, push Crazy Papillon out of his position.
Oh, but he's playing for the door. Instead, he wants someone to push him around this corner, and the answer right now is that no one will. Gets hit by a stun, mind you, so he's a little bit dizzy for a few seconds. Still perfectly healthy, mind you, and knows that's where the focus is coming in, because there is a lot of utility singing on through. Iagata gets the opening kill onto Yura, who's been the hero for them. 3 kills in quick succession, and Cyclops may have just found what they needed, but it's a flank out of Lily. We said the late round spoiler from the basement, and that's exactly what he manages to pull off. It's a 4 versus 2. There's 60 seconds left, so Guts... The clock is not their ally, but Lily apparently is. 2 kills for himself with 3 versus 2. It all comes down to this, Hap. We keep saying it, but it comes down to this round. If they can't get their first attacking win, it is done.
It is done indeed, and you got to keep in mind as well, we are playing top floor, so they might have taken control of the bottom floor, but that's not it yet. Ayagator is in, and so is Gadarada. They need to go for this plant soon, 30 seconds. Are they going to be going for the kills here or trying to force them into a position? Gadarada is in a good position to try and go for cover. He's going to be peaked, and he's going to be taken down by Light, and that is actually going to be changing things up right here. It could be a Cyclops round. They do have the plant down. They are on a 2-2 after plant, but we saw that this could be lost so easily. Is Goods going to be able to fight back? They do have the verticality. Something to keep in mind right here. Memorial will be opened up. Where are they going to be coming from? Angles being watched.
No C4s, though, is the big thing, because they already lost those earlier on, so it's purely coming down to gunfights, and what a filthy angle being held here. He sees him as well. They have zero idea of where Ayagator is. It's a 2 versus 1, and Light has got to contest this angle. He's got 15 seconds. He's not going to bother. He wants the glory. He wants the blood. Pushes round and pre-firing, but Ayagator with a huge round. The opening kill and 2 kills in closing will give Cyclops the round they have sought for the last 5 rounds. Overtime, boys and girls. We're in APAC.
We're back in APAC indeed. We're going to OT. Round number 13 on the board. And overtime it is.
Oh boy.
Guts, however, starting on the defense. That is something to keep in mind. Right now, 10 of the rounds have been won by defense, only 2 by attack, Des.
They have. It's... I feel like even though that was a great round for Cyclops, coming into the overtime, knowing how it's played out so far, only 2 attacking round wins, I'm definitely leaning towards the side of Guts. Yeah. Guts are the ones who have shown consistently throughout that second half that they can pull this off, and they get the choice of sites. It's a total reset for them. Aviator game is going to be where we start things off, and interestingly, Trophy and Statuary was the more difficult of all those sites to defend. It's where we saw the most losses. In fact, the only 2 losses.
We have to say, though, that the last 2 rounds Guts played, they looked weaker compared to the first 4 defensive rounds, because we saw that one plant into behind the bar. They almost managed to go towards the side of Cyclops, and then we actually saw the round win afterwards coming in from Cyclops. So they might be in the zone right now. They might be able to actually push this through because they got really close one. They won at the round after, and they might be able to fix the mistakes right here in AVG and get that round in as well.
I've got to give a lot over to Lily, by the way, because I know at the start of the day I was saying, you know, he's been 1-13 in the regular split. He hasn't looked great. His entry record is poor. That's 1-13 on entry, by the way, not on KD. Don't worry, he hasn't had that bad a season. But in this game, it hasn't been about the entry for him. It's been all about the late round frags. He's been the one who's coming on these late round roams, coming up the backside and shutting Cyclops down before they can even look to push in towards the site. And that is what you want. Impact players, those that aren't always there at the start, but the ones who come up big for you in the dying seconds. Yura and Lily have both been huge to that effect today.
Back very quickly.
This is fast, Jesus.
Making pace indeed. Moving up the Astro stairs already. Drone is going to be following him, but he's not aware of the fact that someone is on his left, but he will be able to get the kill onto the mirror. No, he's not. He's missing the kill. Will eventually get it though. Turns around, gets up on the skeleton key. Is going to be able to use this anti-personal now. He drops down the hatch. Thank you, defenders, for opening that up, and that allows the assassin to sneak out yet again.
It's enough to find that at pace as well, because Crazy at first didn't seem to have much of an idea, and then the call must have come in and been droned out. Something's going on here. We need to react. Unfortunately, not able to react quite in time, and Lily's doing just Lily things. Jumping between rooms, waiting for the late round strike. And I've got to say, if it's working for you, why change it? It's all about this north take that they're trying to put the focus on right now. They know that Mirror window is now more exposed, given that Mirror is no longer there. And I think Black Ray, being in the spot that he's in, can play from downstairs if he wants to. He can use that skeleton key to open up the floor below, remove the Mirror window, and suddenly it ain't no worries inside of the site anymore.
Definitely not. The only worry they have is probably Lily playing in this flank position. They're not aware of it as he dropped down, and as Medic says, there is no mirror window, so possibly had one left in pocket when he died, and if that's the case, that is a very bad thing. Black Ray will be taken down by Lily. He will be taking out the assassin.
You think they'd learn? After 6 rounds of Lily roaming on them, you'd drone him.
You would expect they knew where he is, but not the case here. Evil Eye not being taken out. Annington, they're trying to cut through sight. You can see it. They're setting up 1 on landing, 2 coming down in study, and the X-Carriers are being deployed.
The question is, what can they set up for here? They've got north control of Aviator. They've got south control window in study itself. So it seems to be that Aviator is going to be their point of ingress where the focus goes in, understandably so, because Yura, the hero of the moment, is still holding near the wall. Will not have any bandit batteries on side to deal with that, but they have allies in their teammates to be able to get rid of those X-Kairos. It is ridiculous how many times this has happened today.
How was the Evil Eye still up in that case? But Lily yet again with another kill is going to be taken down, however, by Annington, who moves in. Now knows that he might be able to take 90 control, but has to be careful for the angle that Yura's holding. He's close still to the corner of that wall, so he might rather rotate all the way around, take the 90 control, move in from the door. JJ still top of main stairs, light inside of the vault. They have all the information, they have all the points that they need on the likes of Guts Gaming, and Annington needs to move in here. Yura gave away his position though, and that is going to be definitely helpful as he rotates around. They might be able to actually go in for a flank. Flashbangs to come in. We'll be going into the secondary planting position, but maybe even more the main planting position, as it turns out to become the, well, preferred side more and more. As it will go down, smoke canisters now will be used. Gator onto the cover. JJ will just be running past right here. Might be able to actually get the kill onto Annington. Yes, he will. No cover there. Now we find ourselves in a 2-on-2 situation. All Suzu has to do is move in from landing, get the kill if someone goes onto that defuse. And still in the window, gets that first kill, and suddenly it's the sandwich right now. Yura finds himself in. Cyclops seem to be back in the... Ayagator gets that last one, and they continue the momentum. They build up over those last 2 rounds in that second half.
That is a huge round for Cyclops, because now they go into their defensive overtime round having won the first. It is going to take a real show from Guts, because as well as that second half went for them, and it was down to the wire in round number 12 that Cyclops managed to finally get their attacking round win. In that first half, I said it at the time, they were some of the most decisive defenses I've seen on this map coming out of Cyclops. We're going to go to Aviator Games, unsurprisingly, to kick things off. It's where they started it. It's where they finished things in round number 4 before closing things out in dining in decisive fashion. And looking at the kills, it's all down to Ayagator here. All down to him. And whether or not he can find a good couple of kills for his team at the start to pull things through. No doubt Yura going to be the guy, as we mentioned before, the hero on the entry. If he can find a few opening kills for his team to give Guts the numbers advantage early on.
Still missing out on some of the players though, and the likes of Guts Gaming. Crazy Puppy and Light currently not coming further than the 3 kills. And we have 3 people in the double digits. So if they might be able to balance it out just a little bit more, we might actually see them fight back right here on this attack round, because they need to win it now as well. They do not have another option, because if they lose this, it's Cyclops to walk away with the victory.
It's like a cat that's out of lives. Yep, absolutely the final chance they've got to do something. One thing they have been pretty good at is holding onto these south stairs. I think both teams did this really well on this site. Was no matter how many members were trying to push up from below, whenever they tried to push up the brown stairs, they just found themselves getting tagged out very comfortably by the smoke that was often holding that position. And so the teams have constantly just battered each other away when they're on the defense, saying, you want to get control of this area of the map? Good luck. It's quite simply not happening. So something has got to change here for Guts. We've got to see some kind of flex of creativity, because more of the same, I fear, is just going to put them in the dirt.
Like what we're seeing here from Cyclops, again, the same setup as we've seen before. However, this time there's more so focus towards the study side of things. The entirety of Guts Gaming is looking to go here, except for Lily, though. And then the reinforcement just comes
late
in.
one.
No, they opened it up just in case they would not put the pressure down there. Now they put the pressure down there, they reinforce it, and they're basically going to be wasting a lot of time because now everybody's up on this site and they're not going to be able to do anything with what just was given to them. So it might just be a bait for the drones.
Is anyone playing on the roam? I think the answer is no. 2 on the south stairs, 2 on site, well 3 on sites in total, with the Clash holding Aviator by herself. Guts going for a very one-dimensional attack. This came back to bite them so many times in the first half, as we saw a massive scrap around Aviator with the Clash in place and a couple of smoke grenades coming through. The big difference here is there are no smokes. There is no safety behind a lack of visibility here for the boys on Guts. It's going to come down to winning some gunfights. And look at those grenades. The indicators go crazy on the screen. But Suzu, not flashed out, returns back to holding behind the shield, holding firm in the face of strong adversity here. Guts, with 1 minute 45, are looking to get themselves inside a study.
There's no more flashbangs left. The shield has been taken down by one of the breach rounds or impacts. Right now, they will be trying to push through. Clash, however, moving in, will be stunned down, but Anaton able to use that table right there to his advantage as he moves in to try and go aggressive. And there we see Blackray crossing, able to pick up a double kill.
No.
2 more of Guts Gaming will be coming in. Blackray still on the top of these round stairs right here. Yura tries to get it. A triple kill to come in before he's finally shut down. And right now, Light on the chase right here, hoping to take down this Clash, but this is a suicide mission as it gets taken down. It's all up to JJ now in a 1-on-4 to try and secure yourself into this round. Are you going to be able to survive right here, or are you going to fall? There is no tactical timeout right now to try and talk about the next round, because this is the last round, JJ. You need to go. You need to get these kills. He is being bullied by the Clash. The smokes now come out as well. 45 seconds left in the clock, and there's still so much utility left on the likes of Cyclops. A shield right there to protect him. If JJ moves in, he will be spotted. 5 HP right now, trying to return fire, but he will be taken out shortly, as he still manages to survive somehow.
Just zap him, please.
Just zap him once and it's all over. There we go. The zap comes in. Anaton gets the final kill. And it's Cyclops, even though they almost threw it away after that 5-1 first half, to take it home.
Oh, Cyclops just say, hey guys, remember last time? Remember that 8-6? How does it feel? A best of 3 is going to be needed on Villa between these boys at some point in stage 2, but Cyclops, wow, unbelievable on defense. A little bit shaky on the attack, kind of to be expected on this map. And a couple of strokes of luck coming out for Guts in the earlier rounds did at least pull them through. But given this is a best of 3 hat, we can't say it's over and done with yet. Well, we've got the cringe
cheese
humor.
and the cringe from here.
Exactly. But they are absolutely correct in saying that. This is like 2 kids on the playground. It's like, my dad's bigger than your dad. No, my dad's bigger than your dad. Because none of them have shown coastline yet. This is a totally new thing. And it's like they're threatening to have a fist fight against each other, but you just don't know who's going to come out on top. So in my mind, looking at it with Cyclops being the ones that are going here, they're very sure that their dad is bigger than Guts' dad.
Do people actually say that?
It was a thing in the UK. Like,
I mean,
oh, my brother's bigger than your brother.
You know, in London, they also don't say hi to anybody. But, I mean, we never did that in...
Look, the UK is just a weird place, right? Especially where Gio's from. It's really weird down there. That's why no one likes to go there. Anyway, we are into bans. Decabi going to be one of the more interesting ones we've seen coming out lately to kick things off. That's coming out of Cyclops. Monty follows up for Guts.
Hasn't Dokkaebi even been used?
She was used in the last series as a 6th pick. If you remember.
The last match? Yeah, I mean, I know I saw it like when we were analyzing it, but not like when we were casting.
No, not in this game, no.
I'm basically a bit confused as of why Dokkaebi has
They love the mute ban.
They do.
I'm all about it. Let's bring it. It's like when teams, I mean, BDS was the team that I remember first banning away Wamai, right? And that forced a lot of teams to have to change because they grew a very big reliance on the Jaeger-Wamai combo. Whereas now it comes down to, well, you can't block our intel so easy, so you've got to start getting ready to play around us being able to get drones inside of the site and having a good idea on where you are.
No mute Muzzy combo. Going to be able to stop 3 of them. We have to shoot the rest. And seeing that Yana is being picked up by Yura basically functions as an extra drone.
Some teams really swear by her, but a lot of teams don't.
To be honest, right, if you're playing an information-heavy game, Yana is a very good operator to use because, you know, it recharges over time. I think that if you use it like from the get-go, and you know, you keep on using it, you can use it like 4 or 5 times if it gets destroyed every single time, but you can like use it about like 10 to 20 times if you actually disable it yourself.
Are you feeling the same as me right now? We both just looked at each other like, whoa, those grenades are really loud in areas. Both reach for the panel like, turn it down quick.
50%.
It's just, we're involved, we're invested in the game. It's like you've taken us and dropped us onto Coastline itself. Round number 1. Cyclops are starting out on the defense. We alluded earlier on to the fact that Coastline has an awful defensive record here in APAC. 32% win rate on rounds across the whole stage. So fair to say you're leaning towards Guts having a good first half here. But, as said, neither of these teams have played it. If they have played each other on it previously rather than Villa, maybe that 32% would be a very different number.
Well, Gio also said that we have to expect a lot from Guts on their defense. But if you're looking at the percentages, then I'm not sure on a map like Coastline they're going to be able to do too much there. So they really need to make a difference on their attacks.
That was the thing that we said about Villa. Hopefully here is a tad different. No. Anderton, jump out the window. It's not a long for, mate. You can kill someone. But no. Ash is safe. No one's outside double window. There's nothing else to worry about. Very, very usual to have a Vigil playing out towards the east side of the map, whether it's upstairs or down, just trying to waste a bit of time and force those that are trying to drop inside a penthouse to clear things out to have to take a bit of a duel against you first ahead of anything else. Blackray's the one holding inside a Sunrise and is surrounded on all sides, it feels, by members of Guts, but I'm not sure any are too aware of his presence right now. You might see a drone or two come flying through in a second. There we go, Giora coming in.
I was going to say, watch the left just so you find out where he is. Drone hole attempted to be used, but not going to be able to find anybody yet. Light very close to actually being able to be picked up from that drone hole.
He's got to be careful. All right.
Careful indeed.
Okay, double window.
But that actually leaves him more vulnerable because that is going to be susceptible for a jump out or actually a spray through the window. Is Blackray able to pick up the kill onto JJ, the buck gone. That also does leave Light into a dangerous position. He cannot just go off the rappel that easy, but he cannot also freely use it here. As the incendiaries are being used. Suzu has to run. He has to get out, but he will fail to do so. He will be picked up. C4, however, from below will be able to get the response onto Lily, so it's not completely a free trade to come through. Crazy Papillon will be trying to go for the plant in the meantime, as no one is going to be left there to actually try and cancel. Look at that, so many of the members are not going to be able to do anything. C4 rings over, that will not hit him, it's too short. The diffuser goes down, but it's only up to Crazy Papillon now. 1v4 Des, 37 seconds to go. Will they make it?
They're saying, hey man, if you want to get that plan down, you go for it. It's going to cost you your whole team's lives. Crazy Papillon somehow walks away unscathed, but is in a spot here where he has the angle, he has the gun, and he has time on his side. 23 seconds, that means this has got to come in real quick from the boys on the defensive side. Despite a numbers advantage, no one's really moving. Boys, you got to make something happen here or this round's going to be done and dusted. Crazy Papillon still holding, challenges one near, brings down the multi. It's a 1 versus 2. There's 8 seconds left on the diffuser. How has he done it? It's a triple kill for himself.
He doesn't know.
It's a no.
Oh, he got
zero, but only just literally.
Oh my God.
What?
Why the rounds like this all the time, Des?
Bullets sing past his head. None quite connected. You can just see as he puts it down as well. The bullets hit next to him. Woo! Squeaky bum time. We're in for a good game, ladies and gents. Be ready.
Oh my God! Like, I don't even get why the Jaeger did not even punch in the window.
Why are they doing this to us?
Where he was, Des. He shot in the stun, right? So they knew exactly where he was. And instead, they just peeking him with 2 people at the same time from the same angle. Open up the window on the side. You're going to be able to shoot him from there, you know? And then if he doesn't, then the guy moves in from the pool. No, it doesn't matter in the end. They won the round, but it could have been a bit cleaner. Anyway, Guts Gaming, they managed to get that plan down. Almost got the clutch as well.
You forget how hard words are to say when you're excited sometimes. It was just a bunch of rubbish that came out of our mouths, I think. And no doubt probably
isn't that always the case?
A few expletives probably coming singing out of Crazy Papillon there because he'd done the hard yards. He'd won 3 separate 1v1s. He'd been in the firing line and walked away unscathed, and all it came down to was rushing into the site and tapping that pulse on the head. He wasn't even moving or shooting back. That's how easy it should have been. Cyclops, very fortunate to get one of those rare defensive rounds on Coastline.
I mean, I get what he was trying to do. He wanted to wait for like...
Did you just not know that thing was on the floor?
No, I almost tripped over my own.
Hat was nearly on his backside.
Anyway.
You know about the thing on the floor.
I was going to say, like, you wanted to wait until the timer hit 7, because if you actually forced him to get off the defuse at that moment in time, you won the round even if you lose the gunfight. However, he did not know. He was already busy for 6 seconds in that case. So there was not that much time left. And thus, indeed, as you said, a very rare defensive round and one that Cyclops will cherish.
It was basically just being like, peasants, throw yourself in front of the Zofia so I can defuse. And they were like, I give our lives willingly, my lord.
Protect Mr. President.
That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Turned into a VIP round, and hey, it works, it works. You get the round win. Who cares how it is achieved? Round number 2, we're going to go to Sunrise and Blue Bar. Downstairs version of Hooker and Billy's that we saw not too long ago, and a big focus coming in towards Office out of Guts. No resistance being shown by Cyclops. Normally you'd see 1 or 2 members holding around here and security to challenge. Well, as it stands, if you want that, you can have it. We'll just try and contest you to the north. A very heavy kitchen hold as well as inside of Sunrise itself. You can see where Cyclops are really hedging their bets.
I like those punch holes. It's something that we talked about before. It just
we spoke
makes
about it yesterday.
People afraid of actually going there because, you know, someone could just be popping up from there.
They can be ready and waiting and deadly. Or no one's there and you just kind of, you know, filling yourself with paranoia for no good reason.
I mean, that's the case right here.
Exactly.
No one playing behind it. He can just push, and a simple drone is going to be able to give you that information. So Europe will be getting that information right now.
And now the drone.
But his drone gets taken out, so he has no clue where that was actually from, and they will be shot from an actual bullet hole. You're going to be droning out all these punch holes, and then the bullet hole is going to be what actually might come back to kill you. He will be aware now, though.
It's all about wasting time, though, and drones, nothing else as well. He's gone through 2 so far, and we are 90 seconds into the round, and even finds a kill. He's done more than enough.
Oh, my God!
Beautiful!
Does.
What a man out of Gatorada. 2 kills for them here in this round, or for him in particular. What more can he do? Because right now he is the disruptor in this round. A 3rd kill comes through. Black Ray onto Lily down the long corridor. It's all coming up Cyclops so far, Hap.
It definitely is. It's all up to Light and JJ now. He's going to be able to find at least 1 kill as Black Ray gets taken out. It's only up to Light and the Buck, as we said before. Are they going to be able to find the last 4? That's the question. There's going to be 50 seconds left. There's plenty of time. Spots out 1 player. He's not going to be able to get any hit down yet. Flashbang will be tossed in to try and aid him with the push upstairs, but he's not definitely sure where this player is, and already rotated on. Long gone. Suzu into the hallway. Anaton, however, gets down somehow by Light.
Ooh.
Was it JJ?
It was JJ, yeah.
It was JJ to come in, so we're in an effective 2-on-3 situation. Guts Gaming are trying to fight back, but they still haven't fought and haven't found Gatorada, the man who completely dismantled them before. But here comes the peak. Light should be able to get it, but he secures. No, he doesn't even secure the kill.
Him?
So that's the drone basically now. They're going to be able to get quite some information now. Doesn't secure on the second try as well. There we go. Finally, that's the case. But the diffuser is dropped from the start on already in that window, Des. And that's the big thing. Shotgun from above.
Easy.
Finishes off 1. Suzu gets the kill. And it's Cyclops to finish it off. Gatorada, huge round, dropping the diffuser and getting quite some extras.
I just didn't fully grasp there how for a second when he ran down through the hallway there wasn't someone watching. I thought they were playing in the back of kitchen, but believed they were actually inside a service. Of course, seeing the one on the ground, your number 1 attention when you run into a room if someone is down is to worry more about who might be protecting him or using him as bait. So good call. Still managed to find the kill regardless. 2 rounds to Cyclops on the defense, and already we are violating the written laws of APAC here, I think, Hap. 1 more round and that's it. Suddenly, things are looking good and attackers actually aren't so strong on this map like we thought.
Then that 30% is also not really going away as we might expect it to be. As right now, Cyclops definitely showing up more confident and more consistent as they were. I
would hate for this to be the inverse of what happened on Villa,
yes.
right? Where 5 rounds wins the first.
The other way around in the attack. Oh well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
It's the magical formula.
It's the magical formula. It's cast a curse, everybody. If we say something is going well, it often does not right after.
No. The laws of man are cruel. Kitchen and service. Going to be the 3rd site on Coastline. That Pulse making a return once again, maybe not to the same extent that we'd seen it be as effective on Villa. And definitely less C4s being brought along full stop by the defensive side, but 3 lots of barb. Isn't it like you see that every single day? More about just trying to stop the side of Guts from pushing in fast, pushing in aggressive, and catching them unawares. Cyclops making sure all of their back angles are covered.
Putting down the Evil Eye just in the right time. Often a bit late, and that could result into an early kill if the members of Guts Gaming would have been aware. Not the case. Window being prepped right there to make sure that Anaton can go for a jump out. Gatorada doing the same right here in the front part of the things, in the eastern side. And that's all catering into potential jump outs to come through.
We saw him there for a second. They got the flash that he was down in the main lobby.
This is dangerous. I mean, not careful. Complete opposite right here as the hatch gets opened up. It's not going to be followed up with actually someone checking it. Gatorada could have been picked up there.
He was caught only briefly by surprise, but still in a spot where the angle to get a kill onto him straight away was not the easiest to grasp. So he will keep himself alive inside of VIP for the meantime. You got Anderton playing down inside of Aqua, so all the right angles being held. If you were defending Hookah and Billiards, which we are not, let's not forget. So it's more trying to just waste time on the top floor. We always use this site as an example of a retake site. You tend to concede control of the site itself. You step away, you let its attackers push in, and you try and collapse them when they go for a plant once they have that vertical control. They are holding close though. They found that one opening kill onto Eurus. The Yana's gone down of all operators to die early. Quite a strange one. But just look at the gatekeeping they're doing here. They're saying, nope, Coastline, you need a member's card. You guys don't have one. You haven't paid your dues, so you shall not be allowed inside.
Lily Red here will be stunned out just a little bit by the Grismot mine that was deployed. Anderton now going aggressive right here. Won't be able to pick up the kill. Maybe, yes, no, he messes it up. Window gets punched in though. Gatoretta not able to respond as of yet and thus will decide to fall back. His life is more valuable later on. Hatch gets opened up, I believe, by Suzu to allow Gatoretta to jump down if he needs to just to rotate back towards the site or near site. His Light not in a position to take down Black Ray as he rotated into the actual site. Might have been on the angle, but not able to get the trigger quite down at the right timing. And 65 seconds left. Things slow down, Des. They're trying to get the information in. Drones are being taken out as Black Ray pushes himself forward.
He's processing the membership form. In no big rush, though. 4 versus 3. It's always the clock that I look at and just think, I know how it becomes the 6th man for the defenders when it starts running too low. And we're still ignoring the site, let's not forget. There's a lot of focus around the map, but not really towards the objective. And we already saw that bite them in the last round when it came to trying to pick up the diffuser. There was a shotgun up yonder waiting for them.
Definitely waiting indeed. Barbed wire now being hit. Spots coming through as well. Suzu hoping to pick up one. Will be potentially swapping over to... No, it seems to be just fire right now coming through. It's going to be another kill to come in. Gatorada to pick up one. Putting down a bit of damage right there into Crazy Papillon. The flank already comes in. It's going to be the double kill from Black Ray to come in. Blue bar right there. And Cyclops to win round number 3. Basically in control throughout the entire round. There was no control from Guts Gaming whatsoever. And Black Ray just lines them up. Pulls the trigger. And finishes them off.
I want to say it again, Hap.
What do you want to say again?
2 hosts to a game of Siege.
That is definitely true.
This is the thing. I want to get excited and be like, wow, they're 3 rounds on defense. This is above average performance for the defensive side on
But
Coastline.
we saw how it can swap around within a second.
You know it. You know that nothing stays true in this game. Like, a team can be doing so well, and before you know it, it's like, oh, it's 6-0, and now it's 6-6. What the bloody hell just happened?
What did we just witness? How can we not close this out? As Jess would say, hello?
Hello?
Hello? How can you do that?
By definition, the word hello means an expression of surprise and excitement at unexpected events.
Well, what are you doing?
And Jess's face is just next to it in the book.
Basically.
No longer is it a greeting. That's not allowed.
That's high from
It's not how we work here in Siege.
Hello is now confusion.
The rotation back to the starting site. Hookah and Billiards going to be able to kick things off.
They won 3 in a row there, so I mean, they do not have much option left, do they?
They do not. I mean, they could go from Penthouse if they wanted to.
But, I mean...
I think it's been played once in APAC North, and it was lost.
Yeah.
So there is a chance a team might try it.
Available, so they could potentially use that to make it a bit more viable, but I have to agree with you.
I can't think of the number of arguments I've had with people when playing the game who are just like, oh, go to Penthouse. I'm like, honestly, I don't think I've ever played ranked to see a team win that site. Ever.
To be like when Coastline just came out with the addition of course Mirror and Jackal, it was a very valid bomb set. People were actually able to win on it consistently. But as the game progressed and as Mirror got banned basically every single time for like the past year, we never really saw it anymore. So it's underdeveloped, I dare to say, at this very moment.
There was a good saying that someone gave to me. I think it was Demo who told me actually. He was like, Mirror makes undefendable sites good and makes good sites impenetrable. That's how he described it. And I was like, that is a very good way of looking at it. She does make things possible that should be impossible. And Lily is on his own mission impossible, bringing down Gatorada nice and early. So the survivor in previous rounds who has done so much damage into the Guts Gaming lineup is like, hey, it's free, bro. It's free. It's an easy kill onto a C4 wielding operator. We're not going to say no.
Kind of confused that it got killed through the drone there. Just a bit of a spray.
What the... I was going to say...
It's a Gemini.
I tell you what, it still baits me even to this day. It's incredible.
I mean, you can apparently cancel the Gemini, and that kind of gets me every now and then. As soon as the hologram comes up, they cancel it, and like they run, and then they suddenly start shooting. I'm like, what?
And don't forget that Mute Protocol event is basically taking that to the next level.
That is taking it to the next.
Feel sorry for us, guys. We can't play that for another week or so. Unless... you guys have got laptops, actually. You're lucky.
I got a laptop. I could have downloaded the game.
Oh, man.
Play it here.
I want a round.
I'm confused. Not confused.
Milos is mocking me. Dad, tell him off.
No, you're dead.
Can I get Geo just to stare at him menacingly? That normally works.
just talk in an annoying accent. Anyway. Right now.
That's me who has a problem with that, as you'd say. Milush.
3-5 right now. It is Guts Gaming and have an opportunity to pick up a round right here as we are going back. Well, we're already back in Hookah Billiards. But still, they do not have all control that's necessary. But there is still plenty of time to get that control. Anderton, however, is on the brink of a jump out. There he goes, jumping out. Will be able to potentially find a kill. Yes, he will. We'll drop the diffuser as well.
He's done this 3
Oh,
Ow!
Anderton, are you allowed to do that? This is absolutely unwarranted as he goes for a jump. Gets it too. Anderton absolutely going crazy. I'm saying, like, Guts have an opportunity of winning this. And then Anderton jumps out the window, completely disproves that theory. I have no clue what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to APAC. If you like these plays, make sure to tune in again.
Guts Gaming is contributing to his frag movie there, I think.
Yes.
We were talking about new applicants to the new James Bond film, and clearly he wanted to make himself a known case, and Guts were kind enough to help him out. Despite being in the 5 versus 3, it's now down to a 3 versus 2 against them, and Cyclops are in a spot where they can look to do some damage here. You're looking around the Vigil still being alive. Normally,
a single point of damage, Des.
He's still finding his way up the stairs, knows where the head is as well, doesn't quite find the win. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Heaven knows at this point, Euro's going to find a kill onto Ayagator, so now it is down to Anderton. Ace or bust, my friend. Can you do it to keep this round going to your team's side? 15 seconds. This basically means there is a second man for them. Runs around the corner, and of course it's a copy. He knows the man ain't getting baited in. This is his James Bond film, but can he stop the plant going down?
Yes.
Gets one. It's a quadra kill. One left. Going for the plant, and they know the time is out. There's 4 seconds to go. Will he have time? Can he win? The head-to-head right here. The plant's going to go down. Swings down. He has the ace in there.
Let's go.
That's his show reel. James Bond is his new name. He's coming up big for his team there. Cyclops, not to be deterred. 4-0 on the defense.
Cyclops who? It's Anderton Athletes Gaming right here, dude.
Anderton Athlete Gaming. No, Cyclops Anderton Gaming, and that way they can get the tag.
That is true. Come on, let's go. Beautiful play, Anderton.
Just please, can we interview Anderton? Please. I want to see his face.
Milosh, please. Give us Anderton. All right.
Spin that one for us.
Spin that one.
Oh.
0-4 Des, and it looked like it might have been going to 3-1, and then suddenly, you know, you have that one player that stands out every now and then.
Let's not forget, because back on Villa, we referenced this a few times, when you get this stroke of luck, the stroke of brilliance, dare I say, that comes through for some teams, just to take charge of a round, do the impossible, do the things that everyone would look at on paper and say, there's no way this ever works out in their favour. Those are the kind of rounds we always reference, and Anderton in that case does not lose those.
You know what I wrote down in my pre-event prep?
I can't say I did, but go for it.
Anderton needs to show up. Well, he did.
See, funnily, he's the player that I referenced on the desk at the very start of the day and said he had a wonderful Japanese Pro League. When they won the whole thing, he was one of the most valuable players. Corporal Gamer, I respect you. Try not to get fired because you need money.
You need money.
Man needs money. Man needs a lot of enjoyment, and Rainbow is bringing a lot of it right now. But on that point again, for Anderton, not silent in the normal season, but was definitely kind of one of the... He fit in with the rest.
Expected more of him.
Exactly. He didn't stand up to the level that we saw in the Japanese Pro League, but I think with a play like that, you can say, you know what, mate, take a rest, take a break, have a Kit Kat, because that was the kind of stuff you need to see. Please tell me you get that reference.
I get it.
Thank you. Take a break.
We're not sponsored by Kit Kat here.
Well, the chocolate bars are available, as we used to have to say.
Oh, look at that kill again coming through Anderton. Going insane.
Is he out another window again? No, not yet.
He's sitting
Give
at a
him
window.
time.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it's been him and Alligator who've been jumping out of windows every other round so far, so give it time, give it time. Where have we seen this before?
This is basically the same thing we've seen before, and Gatorado will just follow him now. But instead, this time a drone will actually come in, and that will give away the position of Gatorada. He's going to be able to take care of the drone, though. Goes for the rotate, not wanting to stick on there for too long. That's right now. It's going to be Guts Gaming bringing in that finger. They said it's time for a change. They need to bust things up.
And that's why they got the thinker on side. It's like in some weird film when it's like the goodies think they've won and the bad guys like open a massive garage and there's a big tank in there or something. Right now, you're looking towards those frag grenades coming out of Euro, who finally has decided, you know, Iana's better time is better spent on the moon. It's clearly not here on coastline in the sun. She doesn't do too well from first the cold.
What are you doing? How does he get up there? He just walks up, gets the kill.
Almost found a second there as well for a brief second.
Indeed.
Unbelievable. I wonder how many of those kills have come from runouts. At least half.
Can we get a statistic? How much seconds of the round are spent outside, and how many kills does he get within these seconds?
KD in those exclusive moments would be unbelievable.
Oh man, a lot of information here being fed to the rest of Cyclops, as Gatorada will be following out these players from below without any risk whatsoever. And I'm not sure how many C4s they have left. There might be 3 in this case. There we go, 3 C4s they have available to them. And they start opening up from above right now. And you know what that means? That means that a C4 might just be tossed up and find 1, maybe 2 more kills. And if that's the case, before they even find a response, it's a round for Cyclops. And
needless to say,
there we go, C4 out as well.
Cyclops are normally very good at this whole C4 thing, not finding a kill here, but a couple of kills on their side is never going to go amiss, because most importantly, the Thinker is gone. That HP boost, that ADS speed has been removed. They're going to have to find a better way of dealing with what's going on. They've got the Capitão on side, mind you, so there's smoke, there's fire. They say there's never really smoke without fire, but there can be here. Hopefully enough for them to be able to take around. All utility still on side, 40 seconds to go. And here comes the execute point for them as all this utility will start raining through. Sadly, Wamai exists. He is a think.
He's indeed a thing. We'll be able to take down one of these incinerary bolts. However, will be taken down as the second one gets popped in. Indeed, very good. Crazy Papillon getting that kill will allow them to open up a bit. I have to breathe still because it didn't do that ever since that ace to come through. And well, they have a bit of an opening now.
15 seconds.
15 seconds indeed. They need to get behind the bomb chassis, get that plan down. But if you're going to be slow peeking it like that, you might lose your head. It's Crazy Papillon now moving through. Light will be able to pick 1 kill, gets the second one as well. The cover is there. It's only up to 1 man now, and it's Gator. I believe he's playing from the vertical, but he will be taken out by JJ indeed. Nice round from Guts Gaming. They will get their first one on the board finally. It should have been the last one if we're totally honest, but they got it now.
That setup and execute was near perfect. The right way of doing things there is to make sure you've got these angle covered, where as soon as they hear the diffuser going down, you know defenders are going to appear from. They had the upstairs, they had a couple playing inside of the entrance itself from pool. Everything just came right for them there. Maybe a little bit lax on the side of Cyclops to give them that much ground, but let's think back to Villa. That one crucial round that forced us all the way through to overtime, that's now on the board for the side of Guts.
That could be the crucial round indeed. That's on the board right now, but I mean, to be honest, we expected some more attack rounds by now. So I'm not sure, but we might just get to see the 5-1 again and see it completely turn around in this case, as the Jekyll now will be brought instead of the Yana.
Just changing things up in the last couple of rounds. Why not? Don't blame them. I mean, they've had a lot of trouble with Gator and Anderson being out of every window that exists, it feels like, on this map. So, I get it. Is it coming a little bit too late? Probably fair to say. And you see the castle coming along here as they go towards Sunrise and Blue. Or is this inside a kitchen? No, it's kitchen. Why did I think I was looking down the corridor then for some daft reason? I don't know, Hap. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't understand your mind either, Des. I'm sorry.
Neither.
I cannot help you. I'm not a psychologist.
Yeah. That'll be able to tell me why I confuse sites. That's what they're experts in, apparently.
Oh well. See default openings coming through. A bit of an extension actually inside the bars will most likely hint into the fact that one of the players will be present there and most likely play there until he dies.
Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so they are doing a hold above and trying to waste some time upstairs, as we saw from the last time they played on this site. In fact, they did a really good job of forcing all the action away from the sites itself. If you recall, there was a good scrap inside of Hookah and Billiards. There was a scrap going on inside of Aqua. Office downstairs, moved across in towards security. Cyclops have done a really good job of baiting Guts away from the site and saying, guys, look, we're over here. Please put all your focus on this side of the map. And Guts are more than happy to oblige. So unless they can make use of this Jackal in quick time to get rid of those that are on the roam, this might well end up going the same way.
Not go the same way indeed as Lily gets the first one. Anaton will be taken out. And that means Lily will be working on his opening KD just that bit, as we said before. That needs to happen. And so both the players, we're told, that have to step up for the rest of the team are doing that right now. However, Guts are still on 1 round. And if they lose another 3, they're out of the major. They will be eliminated. So they definitely need to step it up now.
Where is it? There it is. Where is it? I can hear it. It's annoying me. Finally managed to shut down that annoying noise, and Lily shuts down the annoying Suzu in this case. That's Maestro off the board, so those evil eyes shall move no more. Feed information they can, but move they cannot.
Now Gatorada, the man that will have to make the difference, as Gator right here has a shotgun hole. We'll be hoping to use that as light as close. Now Gator,
sound like you're doing golf.
What do you mean?
You're doing like golf. It's a very kind of waiting for the action here. Waiting for the
action here. Yeah, no, I mean,
it's cool.
Gotta calm it down every now and then.
Yeah, I dig. I've got a cup of coffee. I'll let you crack on.
Gatorada is trying to actually bait them in, but he will be taken out instead. So that's not going to be happening, but still Gator is ready on the actual shotgun here. Might be able to pick up that kill. And slowly comes through. No, not just yet. We're waiting patiently for this kill to come out.
It's like a mouse sniffing around a mousetrap for the cheese,
Just
right?
give it
like,
to us by now. We want to see other people do stuff too. Oh, there we go. JJ will be opening up instead.
They've still got so much time to play with here, Guts, as well. 50 seconds on in a 5 versus 2. Now, I don't want to turn around and say it's impossible because we've already seen Anderton pull off an incredible ace to win an unwinnable round in essence. But it feels like this is the one where Guts should be able to make the magic happen and get themselves a second round on the board. That smoke going off into service entrance. Iregate is going to start feeling that heat real soon, both from downstairs and from in towards the main entrance. 30 seconds still to go.
Oh, he's in between two right now. Lily will get that beacon, gets the kill. It's all up to Iregate now. In a 1-5, 20 seconds. If you can stop them from actually going down for a plan, this could be winnable.
Does his feet just narrowly know?
Doesn't, but he does see someone right next to him. Oh, dude, what are you doing? This is going so messy. And eventually Guts Gaming will be able to pick up the kill. Gonna be scared. I think he could just sit put. If he didn't do anything right there, I think he would have actually survived that.
3K for Lily as well, alongside an entry kill. That's one thing that we said before was missing from him in his performance. And we've just seen it. And it does give Guts a bit more of a lifeline, a bit more padding between victory and defeat, dare we say. 4-2 to Cyclops after that half. It doesn't feel that way given how that went. Let's not forget again, very attacker-leaning map. 4 rounds is an anomaly for Cyclops coming out the back of this. They get to go onto the attacking side. And given this was their map pick, you would hope they've got a very, very solid game plan coming into this.
Well, I mean, it already looked like they had a solid game plan going into this first half. So let's see if they can actually push that through onto the second half right now. Because we saw it the last time around, if you're 5-1 in front on Villa, it does not mean you're guaranteed to win. We went to overtime, and there an attack was won, finally, by Cyclops, the second one. That was necessary to get that win in. And now it's 4-2 on a attack side of map for Cyclops, who is on the attack. But it might not be enough because, as we said before, 2 sides to a game of Siege. And that means that Guts might just be able to just completely reverse it.
Ciano says, I accidentally woke up early and saw that the APAC major was on. Now I can't go back to sleep. Hype for the 6 major is too much for my brain.
It's too much for our brains as well.
And this is only day 1.
It's only match 2.
This is the quarterfinal. Tomorrow are the semi-finals.
Map 4.
It's going to be horrific. I recognise the name, though. He's an observer, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Oh, the NA observer, of course.
Attacker's objective is to defuse the bomb.
Ciano. I remember seeing his name before and just being like, see ya, no. Just was like, see you later, like, psych, I ain't going anywhere.
Like Fluke just entering because the doors are unlocked and now we have to work with him.
He came in pretty well dressed and prepared, though.
He did. Like it was like he was planning it. He hacked someone's phone for sure. Like the Google Drive we have with the address on it. Asked one of his buddies for a bit of help.
Not just hacking strats anymore, it's now also lineups and dates and schedules and everything. He's in the mainframe.
He's in Hyperscape.
Hey, I like it.
There we go. Just quickly putting that one in. Is Euro right here. We'll be trying to go for an aggressive peek, but we'll be shut down straight away. Black Ray will be starting things off as the entry to go down towards Cyclops.
Dare you challenge me? He says, no, you dare not challenge me. I've lost
Well,
my
he dared,
life.
but...
And now we have nothing left in, well, how dare you challenge me then?
Yeah.
That's no one left out towards the west side, mind you. You're looking towards maybe Light hanging downstairs on the Ella, but this is probably more of a late round flank. You're looking towards something like, I don't know, White Stairs or Cool Vibes might even be part of the equation, but I imagine they've got intel that he is down here. He's killed a couple of drones on his way through, so not the end of the world. At least something has come from that, and now he's going all commando. Doesn't want to get spotted by the window, so I appreciate the safety precautions being shown there.
Could be safe, you know. And now suddenly he saw Ella down there, running down servers. Like, how did he get in there? We're just watching that window. Well, snaking through. There's 90 seconds left. You see Guts Gaming, they're trying to hold off the attack from Cyclops. We're creating these very long angles right here, all the way from blue up to sunrise and then into the kitchen. No one, however,
Meow, fly through medics. I love it. Coastline tours, bookable today.
Definitely bookable. 70 seconds, counting down. Got a rudder still on that angle, and they're hoping to find an extra entry because it's not enough. Just one is not enough. You need to get a second kill in, and from then on, you're going to be able to move through this area. Especially, well, if we get that right now, Anderton will be able to open things up. That's line to fall in 50 seconds. Lily is going to be coming on the flank, but will it be enough? Is it going to be soon enough? That's the question.
I mean, it's still at the stage where we've got 45 seconds to go, but it's 5 versus 3. We know what can happen in these situations when put under pressure on the defensive side, and they've still got smoke canisters to play behind. But you can hear them singing out which means that there's going to be less to delay when it does come round to the eventual execute. Cyclops are in a spot where they are squaring up, and it's Eye-gated from behind. The Jaeger has zero idea that he was encroaching down there. It is traded out by Crazy Papillon, but he gets domed as well. Good night, says Anderson. It's a 4 versus 1. JJ has got a whole world to do here, a whole lot of good to do. Finds one, needs to find 3 more. One in towards Kitchen, cannot land a shot. This one goes round to the way of Cyclops, who find themselves at 5 rounds to 2.
5-2, Des. 2 rounds away from making it into the semi-final, the place where they would like to be. Cyclops, of course, we expected them to be number 3, and now they're trying to show that they are indeed the superior Japanese team right here.
Number 1.
The number 1.
That's what they're shooting for. It's interesting seeing them have performances like this, because we mentioned that back in the main stage, they didn't have such a good showing. They came up against teams that I think no one would really disagree with me in saying they were the weaker teams they came up against, and didn't perform too well. They beat Q Confirm, they beat Talon, and they beat Electrify. None of those 3 teams are here. The only team they've beaten that is here at this major, even back in Phase 1, was Fav. It has been I wouldn't say a stage.
Well, 5's already gone now, so
exactly.
They're back in the bags. And
they were here
to their homes.
They're gone already.
Yeah.
But the point is, we haven't seen Cyclops show the capability of bringing down big teams. And here
that's the difference in best of 3s. Of course, it will map number 1, but in BO3s, it's suddenly a completely different thing. You don't get to ban 2 maps; you get to ban only.
And I'll always recycle what we said about Cyclops as well. Is that every single loss they had was 7-5, 8-6, or 7. They could well have, with an extra few rounds on their side, turn to a team that sits at the top of the table. So although it's been a very scrappy affair for them, you can't write them off as being a bad team just because they're sat in 6th place. They are arguably one of the most capable teams here.
Definitely seems to be the case.
Help me punch some holes in this wall.
They're also one of the most experienced teams in right here for like international events. That is, of course, this is still online, but
it's like buddying up here. It's a buddy system for smashing holes in walls.
Just make them afraid. Now, would you reinforce it from the other side, just so you could put more holes into it from that side, just for the laugh, you know, just for the laughs of it, get them a bit afraid.
Fear the holes, even though it's a reinforced wall.
I mean, you don't see that really, like. Oh, I mean, you do see it, but I mean, you could still be a bit thrown off of it if you still see the soft wall on the other side. I was going to say, when you shot that, but it was the default cam. So what's that?
I'm not sure. So, Hooker and Billiards, where we now head to. Start out on Kitchen on the defensive side here for Guts, so trying to throw Cyclops off their scent a little bit and leave them guessing as to where we were going to be playing.
So fast.
This is a nice early kill coming out. Gatto onto JJ, and that's only inside the first 45 seconds. Cool vibe still, where there is some aggression coming up, and Susan C is in sight. How on earth has he managed to get in this aggressively? It's 2 kills coming out for Guts, though, in response. It's traded back by Suzu C.
Oh my God,
literally
Suzu.
coming in so many head-to-heads. It's all down to Suzu C by himself here. That's another couple of kills on site, and although one is injured, that basically leaves us in a glorified 2 versus 2. Lily strikes double, Yura finds another, and the injured member of Gatto is going to find himself going down. That was over before it even started, and at least it's something for Guts.
It's a very quick round, but when we saw that very early kill to come in and we instantly see Suzu in the middle of the site, picking up 2 more as well, I would have expected it to go to Cyclops there, but it is going to be Guts Gaming that will manage to fight back, and that leaves us at a 3v5. With only 3 more rounds to go before we go towards the overtime stages. But will we reach the overtime, or will we reach a 2-0?
CAG and overtime, man. Just name a better team.
How many times did they go to overtime in the regular season?
You've got the results there, I believe. I'm stuck with paper.
I don't actually have. I've written down for the other team.
Oh, just not for
Fav.
Right, okay.
Unlucky.
Fair enough. I mean, look.
Maybe Fluke and Hand.
Next time, I'll make sure there is an apt and appropriate device I can use to give me this information. But this time round, I can't have one. I'm very sad. It's been weird going back to pen and paper, to be fair, because normally I like all the tech stuff. But now I'm just like, let's scribble down on paper. So for literally, all you're going to see me the next few days is like reading a book, going through all the results of the games we've seen so far.
Just like Milos was at the start of
yeah.
the show.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
Hey, I didn't see you there.
Every time he said that during rehearsals, I couldn't help me and Gio just look at each other and laugh, because there's a really old like video of some kid wearing 2 spoons in his eyes, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was busy blocking out the haters." It's so funny, so funny, and I couldn't help but laugh every time he did it. Gio is now currently laughing across the studio.
Crying.
She gets
dying.
Don't do that, because she'll have to get her makeup done again if she laughs too much. She's quick to tears, for good reasons. We don't make her cry, that's not a thing.
Yeah, no, we can always mention the cake.
No.
She's already crying now. Anyway, 3-5, and it is going to be Cyclops yet again on the attack, of course, as it's only round number 9. No overtime yet. Could be your. Ooh.
Ooh.
That was a close tracer.
You're like, well, I like that my head still only has the natural intended holes in it and not the ones created by bullets.
I would agree with that. I think he's a bit scared now. He was shocked from it when he saw it go through.
The man has had such a good game, you know, to give him a little bit of luck here, and that was definitely the kind of luck he's been looking for. So, let's see how Cyclops fare on this attacking round. 5-3, as you can see, after that last chaotic early rush round as it came to be. Guts were the ones who prevailed and came out on top. It's more the natural clear that you see at the start of this map. Normally, regardless of wherever the site is, you tend to see a big focus in towards Penthouse and Theatre. We speak about how often when teams are defending this site, it can be easy to take. It's why you start there as well. What a great long, high vertical hold being held by Blackray to bring down Yura. I spoke about his luck running out. It has just run out in this round.
It did indeed, and I mean this is where Buck comes in as well. You can create these openings easier with the skeleton key, and I mean the one that he just created, the angle, you cannot really do that with the sledge, unless you actually go into the bottom floor as well. Anyway, opening kill is for Cyclops. Will it be enough though to get the round? Now statistically speaking, overall, it's 70 to 80% of the rounds won. So the team who gets the opening kill. There's a bit of a pre-fire or like wallbang comes through there. However, today we've seen it differently for sure.
Cool vibes even when they're starting to push up or at least hold on to early on. Don't want to concede any of the control that you would, well, require to be able to assault in towards these sites in the first place. On the side of Cyclops, got to be careful at C4s. It's a very explosive floor kind of day. The floor is lava, dare they say. In this case, it doesn't exist anymore. Still 5 alive for the side of Cyclops. I'm again looking at the clock, 60 seconds remaining. They've got to start looking towards this execute sometime soon. A lot of the focus seems to be on the top floor right now, getting control, opening up these vertical holes, to then try and look for a drop to go for the execute.
I mean, they need to take out Lily and Light, and as they rotate down, that issue has been resolved.
Really good.
Gives them the extra, well, control that they needed. Will not lose any gunfight, but it also means that they will have to take care of extra bodies right now on the actual side, which is going to be making it a bit harder for them to do so, as Blackray right now has 30 seconds to open up as many angles as he possibly can. There's no more C4 left on JJ. You have to keep that in mind. No more C4 left on Guts Gaming, so you can be on that sensor all you want. All you're going to get from it is information, and at this stage in the round, in these last 20 seconds, you definitely want to have your gun out. Gator, who will be moving through security, will be joined by his teammate Anaton, who has that diffuser. It looks like it will be a blue bar plant, but there's still 1 or 2 members alive in that. Gatorado will be able to pick up one. The plant is just all out in the open right here. It's all up to JJ, but he gets a double kill. He's running out. He's getting wallbanged. Is he going to be able to get the kill? Yes, he wins it somehow. JJ!
Woo! Okay.
You were not supposed to win that in a 1v4, but the time ran out as he killed 3 of the members of Guts Gaming.
That's a lack of droning for you, boys. They just had no idea he was sat behind the blue bar.
Oh my god,
you know what?
What is that blind spot even? You shouldn't be going for that.
I guess because the clock was so low, they were like, anywhere inside here, we've got the angles covered of anyone who could try and push into the room, but didn't consider if someone was still inside.
I was already inside. I want to deal with that for the next time.
Like I say, just a bit of a droning mishap there, but dare I say, after that first half and how decisive it looked for Cyclops,
there's 2 sides
that
to siege.
there are 2 sides to siege for 1, and 2, this is looking like a map 3 is potentially on the way.
It could be.
It's not looking like a clear-cut affair anymore, and it didn't on the last map because overtime was a thing. This map is going in exactly the same direction, and I live for it because, dare I say for JJ, that was the round of this map. He had 1 on Villa in round number 2. Was this that round on this map where he comes up so huge for them that it somehow keeps the team in the game? Oh, Swish. Thank you very much. We're refreshing on the desk. Big shout-outs to you guys enjoying the event. You're definitely rocking it. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Devil horns behind the desk.
He's doing his signature move.
Yeah. That's not my signature move.
Oh,
that's my signature.
Oh, I
move.
thought you did this one. I didn't.
No, that's the rocking. That's the horns.
I just saw. I saw
like
the
guts.
pinky rock. So I was like,
That's the guts. That's rock, and that's.
okay.
Call
There
me.
you go.
Look at this. Look.
Got it.
Rushed in 1 second on the clock. If the Buck had won that, that would have been huge. Just think if there were an extra 3 seconds on the clock there, how differently that could have ended. I mean, admittedly, he could have just sat there and been like, well, he can't see me because he's planting. I'll wait for as long as possible and then click his head.
True. They could have done that too. I'm thinking of as well, like if there was 3 seconds extra, they could have just gotten the diffuser, go for the plant behind the bar, and then you know, cover the door because there's no real other place he could go. As an narrative now gets picked up by the ADS, definitely unlucky. Kag seeming to be going for a aggressive quick push, but JJ has to be careful because there goes Suzu.
Yes,
and it goes Pro, spots out the lag, and that's the entry kill yet again onto JJ this time though. No clutch coming down for him. Lily, however, has a response ready for Gator right behind the Lamborghini. Light will get taken out by Anaton as well. And we're getting ourselves a very frag-heavy first minute.
A very heavy first minute, but it's a numbers advantage to Cyclops. Where have we seen this before? Oh yeah, last round, and they still managed to give it away. So let's not count the chickens until they've hatched. Or in this case, diffusers until they've been planted, or rounds until they're actually on the board officially. You got Anaton holding this nice longer angle, and in fact the plant's now starting to go down inside of service. Not too sure on the angle that was being held by Anaton a second ago, but it still enables Gatorada to find himself with a plant going down. Kitchen door was covered, and like that, Cyclops are in a wonderful position. 4 versus 1, diffuser down. I don't see there being a big clutch up this time around. 1 kill comes through to Crazy Papillon, but he's getting tagged out from inside a bathroom. Cyclops take it, and they're now at match point, match and series points, even more
They've
importantly.
gotten so close, so many of these rounds there to finally get to that match and series points, but now they finally do have it, and they have 2 opportunities of closing it out, and that is what you got to keep in mind. They have 1 opportunity to mess it up, and then they need to get it down on the second one, or just do it straight away right now. All the pressure is on Guts. Guts cannot afford a single mistake right now. They came in as the top-seeded one for this matchup. People might have expected them to win, but Cyclops right now, right here, ready to take the 2-0.
They did win 2 rounds back-to-back when they started on Hookah and Billiards, and then in round number 9 as well. Round 10, as we just saw, went the wrong way. Round 11, where we're going to stake our claim, is Hookah and Billiards. So picking the right first site to try and go for that same record. But I can't imagine we're going to see Cyclops making it too easy for them.
Definitely not.
Who's
Cyclops.
Is it JJ again? Can you do it 2 rounds in a row? On
Will
one map?
JJ do it again? I mean, he got entry frag the last time around.
Breaks the fabric of the universe. He's not allowed.
Oh, Guts Gaming. Are you going to be able to close it off or at least draw it up? Or is Cyclops going to be able to get that 2-0 win? The 2-0 we expect to happen, at least majority of the deaths, because we all know that there's one person who did not.
Hi, Gio.
You didn't see what we were doing, but
What she was doing. She was being very rude,
She was
actually.
being very rude indeed.
Typical for a Londoner, really. They're
Yeah,
not
I
meant to be
mean,
nice to
she
people.
doesn't say anything, just throws fingers.
No, they tut at people. That's how it happens in London. If you're disappointed with someone or annoyed, you don't say anything, you don't do anything, you just go, that's it. Do you guys tut in the Netherlands? Is it a thing?
We do, yeah.
Tut.
I think it's a universal thing, isn't it?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think it is.
I know you can tut, but I'm like, is it a response when someone does something that you're
Yeah,
not,
it's
when
like-
you're displeased with it? You guys seem too chill and too relaxed.
I
And
mean, to be honest,
passive-aggressive.
it doesn't happen often, but if someone really disappoints you, like...
Like I'm just really disappointed, easy staring at me
joke.
like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
People do that. Maybe not in Harlem, but that would be like close to the same.
Don't worry, easy. I'll teach you how to tut later. It's fine.
No, it's like... Ah, he gives me a heart. There we go.
Every time I'm clicking all the time.
Benelux Power. Benelux first, you know that? No UK Massive on... Oh, well, you do have a lot of UK Massive here.
We do. Be careful, we currently outnumber you. That is not a
We
wise
are being
idea.
outnumbered. I mean, Milos counts as Benelux first as well.
Does he?
Yes. Lived in Belgium.
Nah,
Come on, dude.
maybe.
Come on. Anyway, 2 minutes. Have a potential last round right here,
Oh,
especially
Black Ray.
with a kill like that.
Too easy.
Light gets his head removed from the back. As that means the ally will be gone. No more Scorpion to play around with, and Guts Gaming right now are on a man down and on 2 rounds down. They cannot afford to lose this one because they would be out of the tournament, Derry. I got you by your first name because we're close like that. As
Okay, Hap.
98 seconds left, Derry. Let's go.
I call you by your second name because it's official.
Yeah, but
And I can't
you
say
don't
your
even
full
know
second
how
name.
to
So
say my
Hap,
first name
Hap
either.
is just fine. As we said, not a whole lot is happening right now. It's more trying to get into position with the final 90 seconds setting the way up. That opening kill onto Light feels like a distant memory, as since then it has been peacetime on Coastline. Everyone trying to enjoy a cocktail or two and get themselves a breather until the final 60 seconds kick off. As said, it's a positional thing. There's a lot going on around Hookah right now. 3 members square up around it. Windows in control, got balcony control too, but Crazy Papillon, he's a crazy man for sitting this close to the fire, but has a few smoke canisters left on side to delay time if he needs to. I'm looking towards Gatorada as well, pushing in towards VIP right here. Yura coming up behind him might be a key kill for them, and Lily is still hanging down towards Office.
Seeming to be aware of this right now as he's holding off on the angle, moving back outside. Yura will be having to deal with this. The angle will be watched. It seems like they're aware of the fact that someone is still playing inside of Penthouse right there. Crazy Papillon will be swapping around with the shotgun, but it will be picked up by Blackray. Huge kill, second one potentially coming down. No, the down comes in. JJ just on 5 HP. Yura now coming through. The plant of Anaton will be pushing through as well. Below? Are they going to be able to go from below indeed in time? No, that doesn't seem to be the case. The C4 will be tossed in at the wrong angle. Anaton will be able to get the plant down. It's a 3-on-2 situation now. It's Yura and Lily to try and take it back. 38 seconds. We're counting down slowly. Is this going to be Cyclops to close it out here? As there is going to be a drone ready. They know exactly where Lily is. The rappel is coming up soon as well. He needs to go for a jump out if he wants to challenge this off. A lot of damage being done. A Renat coming through. Sister picks up one. It's all up to Lily now. The time is running out slowly. He will be picked up. It's Anaton to finish it off. Who else than the man who jumps out from the window every single time? It's a GG to come through. And it's going to be Cyclops, Athlete, Gaming to go up to the grand finals.
Cyclops remind everyone they were that #1 team in the Japanese Pro League, and that, you know what, APAC North Stage 1 didn't go so well for them, but they say, you know what, we step up when it matters the most, even if it means creeping in 6th place. They have just beaten the 3rd seed. That means out of the 4 teams today, you may argue they are looking the strongest.